Folks, welcome back to another Nostalgianomics Live. How is everyone doing today? We got some good topics today. We really got to talk about understanding the difference of things moving up because of pumps or buyouts or manipulation, and the difference in regular appreciation, and also knowing which items have the best possibility to hold that appreciation and not give it all back, as you can see in other things. And you know, guys, you know, I always gotta have a good thumbnail, a good title. No, obviously we're not pump and dumping anything. I don't think anything is pump and dumping, but a lot of people get that in their heads when they see prices move up quickly and then move down quickly on certain things. But usually those are on single cards or slabs. You don't really see it on sealed product. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about with some data here today. And hopefully that'll allow you to feel a little better about holding your sealed product, holding the sword and shield boxes as they rise. Maybe, you know, you can make plays in some of the singles. If if you're really long-term, I think the singles will hold up good long-term, especially graded 10s. But yeah, I mean, it just shows you kind of what things done in the past. So you're not, worried so much about what's going to happen this time. Like suddenly this time, everything's going to be different. And Evolving Skies is going to crash back down to $400 and even lower, because it just hasn't ever happened, right? And so appreciate all you guys tuning in middle of the day on a Wednesday here. I know I go live at weird times, but I've talked about it before. A lot of people ask me why I don't go live more at night, and I will. I'll have guests on coming up. I have more guests that are going to be coming, and we'll have live streams at night. But but one of the biggest reasons why I left my job was to have more time with my wife. She works during the day, she's off at night. I don't like to be working a ton at night and doing live streams all night when when she's off and I could be hanging with her. My pack breaks are at night, so we have a pack break coming up tomorrow. But yeah, so that's why I'm usually during the day. I know a lot of people always ask about that. But who's in here? We got Russell is in here. Jimbo Slice, what's up, man? Chef's dad, all right. Market Scrapper. We got Anthony. Stank Egg Roll, what is up? It's Corey. We got you, Small Fish. Guys, I know I see some of you in here already. I do want to thank all of you that are a part of the Patreon and that have supported the channel that way. Anyone that doesn't know, I do have a Patreon. Links in the top of the description. As if you just want to kind of get that extra level of investing, business, collecting type of more personalized attention. Where there's a private Discord server with all people that are serious about the hobby. There's weekly Discord calls that we have every week. There's 2 videos a month. One's a live, or one's a real in-depth market-related video, and the other one's a live video where anyone can participate in. And then also, if you open packs, you do get 10% off every single pack break all month. With that, could be almost worth it to you as well. So if you're interested in joining that, the link is in the top of the description. But let's go ahead and jump in. Hold on, let me see what people are saying already. Anthony said, I got a $300 eBay gift card. What card should I buy to double my money? Wait and find out. Just stay tuned and find out. When could we see Crown Zenith moving up in price? This summer? It's just taking a little while to get through the inventory. Good thing about Crown Zenith is Pokemon Center is the Pokemon Center ETBs. They don't sell ETBs. So luckily you don't have to wait for it to sell out in Pokemon Center. It's really just waiting for the market to eat up the supply, which, yeah, I mean, it could happen this year, sometime soon, I'm thinking. Astral Radiance. Somehow Astral Radiance is the first to go out of stock out of Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, Silver Tempest. But hey, it was the shortest printed. It's moving up already. As we said before, guys, I made a video yesterday about it. You don't have to believe it. It doesn't have to make sense to you. But when things sell out of Pokemon Center, it creates a frenzy and it sends things skyrocketing. Expect the same exact thing when Lost Origin goes out of stock, when Silver Tempest goes out of stock, and when Brilliant Stars go out of stock. They're all going to run up to the high hundreds and the low 200s. It's going to happen every single time with these sets when they go out of stock on Pokemon Center. Just deal with it. Make your play now, because it's going to happen. Astral Radiance, first one to sell out, and it's doing exactly what Chilling Reign and Fusion Strike did. Straight up. Hope everyone's doing good. All right. What you, Small Fish, if you are willing to share, which state do you live in? Missouri. I'm right in the middle of U.S., Missouri. Yeah, I don't mind sharing anything. I'm pretty much an open book, guys. So let's go ahead. Now we got a few people in here. Let's go ahead and jump into this stuff. So I'm going to go back and show you some X, Y, and Sun and Moon stuff and explain how they performed. We'll relate it to Sword and Shield, and we'll kind of get an idea of how to make what to play, what to hold, what to sell, what to buy, all that type of stuff. All right, so let's start out with the Alakazam from Fusion Strike. Okay, obviously this had a big run up in the past year, right? Ran up in the 50s raw, and it dropped all the way down in the 30s, the mid 30s now. So pretty massive drop off, about a 30% drop off from $50. All right, so Alakazam, the best hit in Fates Collide, saw a drop off, right? When you go look at the Fates Collide booster box, however, no such thing. Fates Collide booster box continued to rise and remain steady, even while the top cards in the set are dropping. Okay. Mewtwo from Breakthrough, top hit, the top secret rare in Breakthrough, massive drop off. Oh, sorry, my phone's going off. One second, all. So top hit in Breakthrough fell off. Other hits in Breakthrough have also fell off. The singles are falling off right after they've seen a massive pump last year. Okay. Breakthrough booster boxes are not. They're still holding their all-time highs. Okay. Then we go to Sun and Moon. The big tag team crash, right? Tag teams went up like a rocket, and now they're coming down, right? In the past year, like I've talked about, usually, not all the time, but usually they don't retrace all the way to their old, highs before the boom, but they usually do retrace a lot of it after a big, boom like that. It's just like we're seeing with Japanese products, same thing. And so it was, around $200, two teens, and now it's retraced all the way back to $260 from a high of $350, right? However, Team Up Booster Box, no such thing. It's still seeing sales at all-time highs. You seeing a pattern yet? I'm going to keep going, but I think you see the pattern. Let's keep going. You have the Gardevoir Sylveon from Unbroken Bonds, top hit in Unbroken Bonds. Same type of thing. In the last year, it went from 140 up to 240. Now it's retraced down to 170. So it's starting to settle at a higher low, so higher than it was before. But Unbroken Bonds, still moving up in price, still higher. No such retrace. When we look at the Rainbow Mewtwo from Unified Minds, right? You can see this one retraced to almost the same as it was a year ago. So gave back all of its gains, right? Straight up, straight down. But Unified Minds still holding steady. Starting to go a little sideways, up and down, holding very steady, still seeing sales up at those prices. And then Cosmic Eclipse, right? You got the old, stone sculpture of the Arceus de Alga-Palkia. Saw highs in the 200s, fell back in the, mid-hundreds, 150s, 60s, 180s raw. So very clear drop-off. But Cosmic Eclipse seeing all-time highs, staying steady at those all-time highs. And so, what does all this information mean? How can we use all this to our advantage? Well, if you're not living under a rock, I'm sure you've been paying attention to Sword and Shield alt arts. They're all rebounding like crazy. And again, in my video yesterday, if you all saw it, if you didn't, go to my channel, my last video I made yesterday. I talked about how, look, I get it. I'm the kind of the guy in the hobby that people don't like, or I'm the pariah. I'll never get credit for anything I call. But I made a video 4 months ago with a big green arrow saying buy here, right? When all of these were at their lows, right? The video was 4 months ago. It was down here. And I was telling everyone, now is the time to buy these alt arts. Some listened, some didn't, but I did call it, okay? Here's what's been happening in the past 3 months. Straight up. All these alt arts are going parabolic, right? The Umbreon, straight up. Right here, this is my sale. I sold this Umbreon yesterday, raw, for $694.97. I bought it. I cracked it as a PSA 9. I thought I could, touch it up a little bit, make it gradable. No, couldn't make it gradable. And so I just looked it back in the market raw. It's a 9. It's a strong 9, but couldn't get the 10. And so, anyway, straight up, the 10 is selling for $12.50 now. Rayquaza VMAX, also from Evolving Skies, straight up in the last 3 months. The Umbreon V, straight up in the last 3 months. The Gengar VMAX, seeing massive gains, and this isn't even one that saw a big retracement. It's been very steady, but now it's seeing massive gains. You're seeing the Espeon VMAX do the same exact thing from Fusion Strike. Even the Charizard. Nobody wanted the Charizard a year ago when it was $100. Now it's all, spiking back up. It's already in the 120s. You have the Machoke from Astral Radiance going straight up. You have the Giratina, which is absolutely on fire, gaining back all of its losses that it saw. Even the Lugia, even after all the God packs, it's recovering all of its losses. It's starting to recover off its bottoms, and so on and so forth with the alt arts. So want to see some real crazy stuff? Like I talked about the Umbreon, Gengars, all those. Look at this. This is the Gengar. Recent sales, PSA 10. Recent sales in a PSA 10. This card's a $500-600 card. The Umbreon, yes, it's ending in the high 11s, low 1200s at auction and buy it now. That's what this card is worth now. Even the Giratina, look at this. It's a $700 card again. $700 card. $733, $699. It's a $700+ card again in a PSA 10. Now, does this still mean it's time to pick up alt arts? It's hard to tell, right? Because when you look at any chart, it's easy to tell after the fact, right? But you don't know how high these are going to go, right? Could Giratina hit 1,000, 1,000+? Sure. Could Umbreon go to 1,500, $2,000? Could Gengar go to 700, 800, 900? Yeah. Like, you don't know where the top is going to be. And here's the thing. People are all, you're going to have all the negative YouTubers, right? Talk about pumps and dumps in the future. And you're going to have them show the charts when these do, they will correct eventually, right? Where they do hit their highs and they do correct. And you're going to have people saying, look, modern cards are falling at 20 and 30%. Here's the problem. Where's the top going to be? If this Giratina gets to $1,000 and then it falls 30%, won't it just be right back at 700? If it falls 20%, won't it be at 800? So would it still be a good buy right now? If the Umbreon hits 2,000 and it falls, I don't know, 30%, well, that's $1,400. Is it still a good buy? Right? And that's the issue you run into these types of situations. You don't know how hard these are going to run. You don't know how high these are going to go before they do hit their, capitulation point and they do start seeing some retracements and people taking profits and they get too high. Now, personally, I've looked back. I've done a video on this. If you want to go back and look, I've done a video showing how most of the time the top hits, the top hits in all of the sets in modern times. You can go look at XY, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. Okay. The top hits in the sets usually stay relatively close to what the booster box prices are. Some are a little under, some are a little over, some are way over in a PSA 10. So this tells me these alt arts, which are the best hits in all these Sword and Shield sets, and they're the most popular cards we've seen in, pretty much this whole generation. I would expect a lot of these alt arts to stay pretty close, if not more, than the booster box price, no matter what the booster boxes go to. And so when you see Evolving Skies creeping up to 700s, even though Moonbreon's seeing a run-up, even though the alt arts in that set are seeing run-ups, I still would expect them to stay relatively high, even if they do have retracements, if the booster box keeps rising the way it is. And same goes for all these sets. Now, which brings me to the booster boxes. You have a lot of people talking about selling Evolving Skies right now, or selling Fusion Strike, selling Chilling Reign. I got to lock in my profits, lock in my gains. Guys, I just showed you all the XY and Sun and Moon sets that had all the cards go straight up and straight down. Did you see the boxes go down? No. The only time you really see boxes take relatively large dips is after reprints. You don't see boxes be very volatile to the downside 2-3+ years after their release because the reprints are done. Everyone knows the reprints are done. People are holding on to them. And the few that are on the market are just people, who maybe have a large supply, slowly bleeding on the market as the market, kind of following the market up. People who maybe need the money, collectors maybe got in real low and they want to, but the market continues to contract the amount of supply and the demand, even if the demand shrinks a bit, but stays somewhat steady, the boxes are always going to continue to sell and continue to rise in price because there's no more supply coming. There's more opened every single day. There's more disappeared in people's permanent collections, maybe lost, damaged, whatever, stolen, et cetera, et cetera. And so this is why holding the booster boxes is still a safe play. I've said it a million times already. I'm not selling a single sealed Sword and Shield booster box right now. Am I selling cards? Sure. I'm selling cards. Now, when it comes to the alt arts, I've talked about it. I'm picking up alt arts right now. I have been for the past few months. I've told everyone I was doing this. I made a freaking video about it. At the time, it was seen as stupid because things were at their bottoms and falling. Now, you know, it's seen as a genius move, but, you know, no credit again. No problem, no hate. But I'm still picking up alt arts. Now, probably not going to be picking up a Giratina at $700, right? Maybe not a Moonbreon at $1250, but I'm still picking up alt arts when I see a good price point, when I think it makes sense to maybe make the grading play, or maybe it makes sense to just buy the raw. I'll share a card I literally just bought just because I think it was a good price. I picked up the Articuno from Chilling Reign. I'm gonna try to find my order real quick on my eBay, and I can show it to you. Like I said, I'll show you guys everything. I have nothing to hide. Let me make sure. Okay. The only thing I have to hide are any like payment specifics or anything like that. I think we're good. All right, cool. We're good there. All right, so here's it. Yeah, I just picked up this last night. $64 plus 5 shipping. I paid $69 for the Articuno alt art at auction. And so I'm looking at it. I'm saying, okay, well, I'm looking at the raw copies. Hard to find a raw copy. It's about a $30, $35 card, right? I got to pay $15 or $16 to grade it. So now I'm in the card over $50, and I'm taking a risk of it not getting a 10. I'll just pick the card up for an extra 15, 20 bucks as a guaranteed 10 and not worry about it, right? So there's plenty of plays like that where it's like, if the raw copy of the card is starting to become more and more scarce, and you've looked at a lot of the pictures, none of them are really gradable as 10s, and you can see them disappearing from the market as 10s, and after buying the raw copy and grading it, there's not much of a multiple, I'll just pick up the 10. I'll still grade a lot of cards if it makes sense. Obviously, it's easier to have a good entry point and not be, you know, you can be in under market when you get those 10s. But there are situations right now, guys, where there's still things to pick up. And honestly, even though I'm not doing it, Giratina could be a pickup at 700. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not trying to pump it. I don't own one. What am I going to pump? What I'm saying is, if that card went to 500, or I mean, sorry, if that card went to 1,000, or if it, you know, saw a downturn and went back to like 550, 600, neither one would surprise me is what I'm saying. Neither one. I wouldn't be one of these guys who are flabbergasted. Oh my gosh, can you believe it's this high? And what's funny is it's usually the vintage channels, the guys who are, you know, they just don't evolve. They you know, they're stuck in their ways. No matter how much data, how many years, how many people are interested in modern, they refuse to believe it. They'll still, you know, here's the weird part. They're completely okay, and they think it's completely rational when, let's say, a vintage card goes from 1,500 to 2,000, right? And that's completely rational. It makes sense. You know, it's a normal move. But as soon as like a modern card has any sort of same percentage gain, it goes from like 500 to 700, all hell breaks loose. This is crazy. This is wild. Are you guys seeing this? Look at the market cap on this card. Look at the pop report. This doesn't make sense. And it's the same thing over and over. And guys, I don't see any of these cards being in some sort of pump and dump. And I'll tell you why. You can look up any of these cards you want. Here, in fact, I'll do it right now. Do it right now for you to show you what I'm talking about. I'll get out of all the sold listings, all right? And we'll go to the market, and I'll show you exactly what I mean, okay? Come on. All right. So, when you type in Umbreon VMAX 215 PSA 10, there's 49 listings available on the whole market. There's over 10,000 of these graded in a 10, which means 0.0 whatever percent of the entire graded population is on the market, making this more scarce than most every other card, even though it's graded so heavily. This tells you that people actually want the card. If it was a pump and dump, why wouldn't people be dumping at $1,200 in Umbreon? Ask yourself that. Why would the majority of everyone in population not be on the market? Could it be because people are actually holding them? They actually like the card. There's enough interest out there. There's enough demand in the entire world of the tens and hundreds of millions of Pokemon collectors that want one of the most iconic cards in the hobby at only $1,200? Guys, there is countless cards when you go back, you know, 15, 20, 25 years and look at all the older sets that cost $1,000 to $2,000 in PSA 9s and PSA 10s that nobody wants, that very few people want. And those are okay. People accept those prices, but they see this and they don't accept this. They think something's wrong here. Same thing with the Gengar. Look at the Gengar. 10 results. Guys, this is all the PSA 10 Gengars on the market. This has thousands and thousands of copies in a PSA 10, yet only 10 of them are on the open market. There is almost no card on the market with that ratio of cards in existence to cards in the market. The scarcity of these cards is top notch. And when you take the amount of demand and popularity of Sword and Shield era as a whole, of these sets as a whole, of these cards as a whole, and the broadness of the Pokemon TCG market, it makes sense. It just makes sense no matter which way you want to slice it. And you can throw the pop reports up, you can throw the market caps up, you can throw all these different statistics to try to act like this is wrong in some way. But in reality, if you realize that the most of the money goes to English. I know people are really into Japanese this time, but the majority of the money is still focused on English. Japanese is a very close second. It's Japanese and English. All the other languages, they're small and they have some market cap. All the big money is in Japanese and English, with English still being the top. When you think about that, and you think about every country on earth, and everyone who has money, and all of these younger generations like myself and younger, that are continuously advancing in their careers, making more and more money, and these are the cards that they want and seek after. They don't want, things just because they're older and rarer and more and lower pop and more scarce. They don't care. They want what they want. You don't think that money is going to continue to pour into this and hold these prices steady and rise over time? You have to make that decision for yourself. If you're asking me my personal opinion, what I think of course it's going to, but that's just one person. And this just tells you how much these cards are loved and sought after, by how scarce they are on the market, how many continue to be graded, how high the pop reports are, and how high the prices continue to rise. Now, are singles more volatile? Of course. You will have higher ups and higher downs on singles than you will on booster boxes. Meaning, right now, people who hold these alt arts, they are seeing much higher gains than anyone holding the sealed product. Just like we saw with Sun and Moon and XY, when things do downturn, depending on when you got in, you will see further downticks, a lot more drastic downturns than you will on sealed product. With sealed product, a lot of the time, like I showed with Sun and Moon and XY again, didn't see any downticks when the singles downturned. When the whole tag team waifu bubble got let out, the sealed product stayed the same, if not kept rising. And I expect the same thing to happen with Sword and Shield. I expect all these Sword and Shield boxes to continue to rise. I still expect Lost Origins, Brilliant Stars, and Silver Tempest to go out of stock at some time this year on the Pokemon Center. And I would expect all of those boxes to be in the 200 or 200 plus range by the end of the year. Astral Radiance will probably be there within weeks, if not a few months, at the rate it's going, because this is what happens when things sell out and products get scarce. So when you're all around the YouTubes and interwebs, and you come across the other side of things, and there's very smart people on both sides of this, guys. I'm not trying to say that people that believe in the older, rarer, minter better stuff, people believe in vintage and dismiss modern and don't believe that modern prices are legitimate and think it's all going to crash. They're not dumb people. They're smart people as well. They just see things and they interpret the data in a different way, right? I mean, two people can look at the same piece of data. One can have a negative connotation. One can have a positive connotation on the exact same data. It doesn't make either person dumb or stupid or smart. I mean, obviously time makes either person right or wrong, obviously, but you can definitely come up with circumstances or arguments on why, this can't hold or why the new era in Scarlet Violet will eventually have sought after cards, that people will want more than these, and these will become yesterday's news. But if that happened, if these are all yesterday's news, why wasn't tag teams and waifus in Sun and Moon yesterday's news? Why aren't some of the gold secret rares and some of the full arts and megas in XY yesterday's news, right? Why isn't everything before the absolute newest thing yesterday's news? So that's what I'm talking about, the top hits and sets. If all the top hits in a lot of these sets and PSA 10s continue to perform well most of the time, why wouldn't these alt arts perform well as all the boxes continue to become $200, $300, $400, $500 boxes? As Evolving Skies gets to $1,000, $2,000 a box, which yes, I would bet that it will. And so that's kind of the two sides of things. So, again, everyone's got to make their own decisions on these things, but I did want to put this video out to show you that sealed product holds up no matter what the singles in those sets do, right, over time as it ages. Also, the top singles, although they have ups and downs, they do perform relatively well in PSA 10s. They can be good pickups. So don't see these alt arts moving up and think you missed your chance, or they're being pumped up and they're going to be dropped on people, or it's all, people manipulating the market or buyouts. Guys, you know what the buyout is? Here's the buyout. It's the majority of people in this entire hobby all liking the same exact cards because, oh yeah, they're some of the coolest arts ever printed, and oh yeah, they're some of the hardest cards to ever pull in the entire hobby. It's everyone wanting the same cards, and as prices start to move up, move down, as boxes become more scarce, as packs become more expensive, it's everyone realizing these things at the same time and all wanting to move in at the same time. That's your buyout. It's a regular, normal market movement, market trend of everyone wanting the same things at around the same times. It's not everyone coordinating it. It's they want these cards because they have organic demand. And so that's how I feel about these things, guys. And so, yes, in my opinion, all Sword and Shield product will continue to be higher. I'm holding Evolving Skies. I wouldn't be doing that if I didn't think it was going to be higher in the future. I'm still holding Fusion Strike after this pump. I'm still holding Lost Origin, Chilling Reign, anything you want to talk about. I'm still holding it. I still think all the sealed products are going to continue to rise. Alt Arts, I'm holding them. I don't have the Moonbryon, right? I don't have the Giratina. I have a lot of others. I have Blaziken, right? I have, other evolutions from Evolving Skies. I have other alt arts from all these other sets, right? Like the Lugia from Silver Tempest. I have a copy of now, and I believe in them. I'm holding them. I don't know if I'll hold them as long term as sealed product, because I do like to make shorter term plays with singles when I see opportunities. But I believe they're going higher, and so that's kind of where I'm at with everything. I told you I'm always an open book. I'm not trying to influence on anyone else what they want to do. But I have delisted all of my alt arts and all of my trainer gallery 10s from my eBay store. I'm not selling them into this market because I don't want to take less than what I feel they're going to be worth in the near future. And so I'm holding on to those, not selling in my booster boxes. So that's where we're at, guys. So as far as like hearing about pump and dumps out there, as far as hearing about market manipulation and buyouts, people can make great arguments for it, and they're smart people, and they can speak very, very persuasive about their feelings. And it's easy to fall victim of it. It's easy to buy into it and get scared out of your positions. But guys, as far as I can tell, with all the data you can compile, there's nothing telling me that these are all going to get dropped on people. In my opinion, I think we're going to see higher highs than what we see right now. I think these cards are going to continue to move up even higher. I think there will be a cooling off period eventually, maybe later this year, maybe next year. But I don't think we're going to see anywhere close to the lows that we saw back 4 months ago when I made that video saying these are buys. So that's what I got to say about that. We've been going a half hour. I think it's time to take some questions or get into some comments with what you guys feel about this. Because guys, here's the thing. Yeah, I know I'm the YouTuber here. I got a YouTube channel, but I'm still just one person. I'm still just one opinion. I love hearing all of your opinions. A lot of you people in the chat, just as smart, if not smarter than me, have just as large of businesses, if not larger businesses than I do. And I love hearing everyone else's opinions too, because that's what makes this hobby strong, is hearing everyone out, hearing their opinions, giving us some thought. And sometimes you agree, sometimes you disagree, and only time will tell who was right or wrong. But I think the biggest thing too, before I get into questions, is don't be afraid to admit you're wrong on things. Don't be afraid to admit you got things wrong. Don't be so stuck in your ways that you're unwilling to adapt and you're unwilling to evolve, right? I've talked about millions of times. If I see another shift in the market the way I did back in 2020, 2021, with the interest shifting away from the vintage and the older rare mints are better into the modern, and if I see things shift back or shift somewhere else, I'll be the first one to say it. I'll be the first one to say, hey, things have shifted. If you go watch my early videos, like when I first started YouTube, I used to talk about ETBs being good investments. I had because coming into Sword and Shield, they were Sun and Moon XY ETBs. They were good investments. Pokemon shifted. They started reprinting those and printing those to the max. They're everywhere at every retailer, and there's way too many of them for the amount of demand. And so they're no longer a very good investable or scarce item. I shifted my focus. I shifted my videos. I told people things have changed, right? And so that's what you need to be able to do in this hobby. And a lot of people just are unwilling to do that. And they can be wrong for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. And they're just never going to admit it. And that's fine, right? And they can be stuck in their ways, but don't be like those people, right? be able to admit when you have things wrong, be able to shift. And if you're able to do that, you can be a lot more successful, right? Listen to all the different viewpoints, right? Listen to people who are smarter than you. Always do your own due diligence and always make a decision based off all the available data and not just what's in your own mind or what you believe people should do with their money or should like or how the market should operate. And if they don't operate a certain way, calling everyone irrational that is in that market, because it's not the case, right? It is just as rational to buy a $1,200 pop 10,000 card as it is to buy a $1,200, pop 300s, card that can be. It's completely the same rationale. You're putting $1,200 into shiny cardboard that you feel that is going to outperform in the future, right? Or you just like, whatever it may be. And, trying to cut people down for feeling a different way than you, it's just showing your own anger. It's showing your own disbelief in the market. And I guess you can just hold out forever and hope this stuff all falls apart. You can be like the doomsdayers and, build a bunker and hopefully, when the next, the nuclear bomb will eventually come and you can tell everyone you're right. But guys, it's just looking at other TCGs, looking at everything as a whole, things are strong and things are continuing to be strong for the time being. And here, like I talked about before, when a crash does come, go look at the stock market, right? Go look at what happens when crashes happen and recoveries happen, right? Most of the time, the crashes don't crash down to all-time lows. And when they recover to all-time highs. Just like in Pokemon, there's tons of crashes that always happen, right? I've been in since 2015. There was a small crash in 2017, 18, right? Where things take a major downturn. There was a crash after the big, Logan Paul COVID boom, right? We've seen ups and downs since then. There will be corrections in the future. There was a sort of bearish market last year on things. In the end, this stuff continues to rise and see new highs over time. That's all I got to say, guys. All right, let's see what we got. Always going to be hard for booster boxes to have prolonged declines due to supply only moving one direction. Absolutely. 100% true. It's been said that even the underlying raw card may decrease. The PSA 10 version of it stagnates or keeps rising. Exactly. And we're seeing that even with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 pop report cards, which, guys, again, I think we need to, as a hobby, we need to redefine what a high pop report is, right? Maybe back in the day, right? Like pre-XY or XY, when everything was very much lower printed and the demand and the amount of people in the hobby was far less, maybe 300, 500, 1,000 pop report, started to be kind of where you wanted to stop, and it's getting high at that point. These days, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5,000 cards, guys. When you look at the amount of sellers, the amount of buyers, the amount of market cap, the amount of sales that happen on eBay daily, weekly, monthly, all the platforms, the amount of people in every state in the US, in every country in the world that are into Pokemon and want to spend money in Pokemon, you know how small 2, 3, 4, 5,000 is? That is like a percent of a percent of a percent of the hobby. It's so small. It's such a fraction when you really think about it. But again, if you want to argue on the other side, which I could do, you could show a bunch of cards with lower pop reports, how they're not performing well, and say all these are overvalued and they're all going to crash. There's way too many, whatever it may be. But the fact of the matter is, there's 10 Gengars on the market. It doesn't matter if there's 100 million Gengars in the world. There's 10 on the open market. That's all you got. I'm from Europe. I can buy a case of Astral for $1,000. It's a good deal. I think you can probably still find cheaper, maybe. Maybe the market's already shifted that fast, though. 2 days ago, it wasn't a good deal. Maybe now it is. So I don't know, Dennis. It might be. I think Sword and Shield Alt Arts will crash harder than anything we've seen before. It's spiking too fast. Joshua, I gotta disagree with you, but I appreciate your opinion, man. I don't think we're gonna see that. I think we'll see a downtick eventually, but I don't think it's gonna be. Here's the thing, like I said before, I think when they hit their highs, which I don't think they're there yet, I think we'll see maybe a 20-30% correction, which won't even be as low as they are right now. That's my personal opinion. The same people who are FOMOing to buy it will FOMO as soon as a decreased price happens. It's not true, though. A lot of people I've talked to, they're not FOMOing. but they want to get they want to hold it, and they've you know, people I've talked to personally, they've told me I'm overpaying now, but you know, and I've talked about this before too, guys. So I'm gonna get to your question, Josh, or your comment, Joshua. But I've talked about this before. It's always the goal to try to grade yourself, right? Because if you grade yourself, you can pick up the raw copy cheaper. You can pay the $15, put it in the plastic, and if you get the 10, you're entering in that position far under what market price is. You have a guarantee, you have a kind of a profit margin built in. Here's the issue. What if when you're buying the raw, sending in to get graded, by the time it takes to get graded and come back, the market shifts? And now the PSA 10 is a whole lot higher, but the raw and the 9 haven't seen as much uptick because the multiple has got higher with the 10. Now you got a 9 on your grade. Now you're actually further behind than you were before if you would have just bought the 10 at the time. And so you really have to kind of weigh the options there, whereas sometimes it's a good idea. But going back to what Joshua said, a lot of people I talk to, they're not FOMO buying. They're saying, no, I want to have this card in my collection. I'm going to hold it until the day I die. I'm going to hold it long term. But I want to have a PSA 10 of all these alt arts. And they're buying for the long term. And they even say, you know what, I don't even care if it does end up going down 10, 20, 30%. And I was wrong, but I'd rather buy it now and be right and go up 10, 20, 30% and not have to pay an extra $200, $300 in another few months for it, because I really just want the card. And I think that's the overall point of this is people just want the cards. They want them in their collections, right? They're not just buying them for the stonk and for the game. They want the card and they want to own it. And seeing how scarce they all are on the market all the time in PSA 10s, no matter how high the pops are, they understand these are going to be scarce probably for the long term because the majority of people buying these are long-term collectors. The Cabal King. I'm not the Cabal King. We're fighting against the Cabal. Nah, guys, let's be honest. At this point, I think is it safe to say the Cabal is no more. The Cabal is dead. Their followers are all spread across the map now. Their takes have been proven wrong time and time again. Those who have followed them are now either stagnant or down on their investments after years and years. And I think Modern has proven it's superior at this point. Let's be honest. Magikarp from Paldea does seem to be this generation's Moonbryon. It's not Moonbryon. It's not going to be anywhere Moonbryon is. But yeah, it is. It does seem to be the highest chase card in all of Scarlet and Violet right now. In a PSA 10. Ooh, Gengar's Den, liking the break cards. What's up, man? Yeah, break cards were so hated back in the day. Yeah, they're starting to get some love, but they're still kind of down there. You know, I think the deal is they're just too easy to pull. They're too widely available. I knew BBs are somewhat giving you better odds pulling alt arts, but if you are chasing them for the love of God, just buy the ETBs. They are a lot cheaper. Don't FOMO on BBs. It's just, Peter, the thing is, the booster boxes have performed better over time, especially going forward after XY Sun and Moon. I mean, they exponentially outperform ETBs. And so I still think booster boxes are good pickups, in my opinion, though. If you're just a collector, I mean, yeah, ETBs are cool to collect. They're cool artworks. They're cheaper. Makes sense. I get it. Any set that has any of the word evolve eventually goes hard. Evolutions, evolving skies, Paldea evolved. Oh, Keith, I like it, man. I am with you. Paldea evolved to the moon. You know what? I might even go pick up another case after this video just because you said that. Any set with evolve in it. That's a new one. That's a new one. Man. Don is in the house. What's up, Don? Thanks for being here. Gifted memberships as always. Appreciate you, brother. Ian says, hi there. I love the videos. Wanted to ask a question. What booster boxes are people buying, especially when you start out? You know, here's the thing. So Scarlet Violet era, right? It's definitely going to take probably longer to move than Sword and Shield right now. But we've never seen modern booster boxes full market price go under the 70s, worst case scenario. And when they've hit the 70s, they've usually bounced back out of the 70s relatively quickly. And the 80s have been kind of the stable floor. And so if you can buy booster boxes in Scarlet and Violet in the 80s, your risk level is just so low at that point where it makes sense. Now, if you're looking at the best like shorter term gains, Sword and Shield booster boxes probably are going to move the fastest, especially probably, well, now Astral Radiance is out of stock, but probably Lost Origins, Silver Tempest, Brilliant Stars, some of these alt art boxes that are still in stock at Pokemon Center. When those sell out, those will probably have a massive run up. And so we'll probably see those type of boxes move the quickest this year, a lot faster than probably Scarlet and Violet will. But there will come a time when Sword and Shield becomes priced out and people will start to move their money to Scarlet and Violet. And so either one's a good option, Ian. So that's probably where I would stick if I was just getting in the hobby. I'd probably either go to real low, like $80 or so boxes in Scarlet and Violet, or go to some of those alt art sets in Sword and Shield. Which, by the way, I'm doing both myself, and I've been in the hobby for 9 years. So it's the same stuff. There's no secret sauce here. It's time in the market beats time in the market. It's having the fortitude to be able to hold through the spikes and drops. And, long term, people who don't jump off the roller coaster usually don't get hurt, and they usually end up having the best experience. So. I was at a card show and did not see one Gengar VMAX, raw or graded. That's ridiculous. That is completely ridiculous to say that. Wow. Amazing, Corey. Amazing. I'm sitting on a pretty large position of PSA 10 Alt-Art Giratina. I was acquiring raw in large quantity last spring when the reprint was announced. The single price is very closely tied to the BB price. Yeah. Andrew, I mean, you're sitting pretty right now. I don't know what, I mean, I'm happy for you. I don't know if there's a question there. I don't know what to do with it. He says he expects a rise. $1,000 not unreasonable with box performance. Hey, man, I'm happy for you if it hits that. Let's see. Yeah, Gengar, or Fat Belly Collects. Astral Radiance is out of stock at Pokemon Center. It's already, I think, $170 on TCG Player that quick. That's how fast this hobby moves. And here's the thing, guys. Don't be afraid of fast movement. People see that and they freak out. Like, oh, it shouldn't happen that fast. Yes, it should. Yes, it should. The same reason that sealed products can sit stagnant with no growth for, 6 months, and you'll have all the negative, modern deniers and negative YouTubers all get online and they can say, see, look, modern investing sucks. You've been sitting stagnant on your money for 6 months. You've made nothing. They're the same people that will say, this is going up way too fast. There's got to be something wrong. No, there's nothing wrong. This is how the market works. It's how collectibles operate. You may make no money for 6 months a year. You may make 50%, 100% the next year. Just how it goes. Normal market fluctuations. Okay, so no, this is completely normal move for Astral Radiance. It's exactly what you would expect after it sells out in Pokemon Center. It's going to probably get near high hundreds or low 200s, and it'll probably, kind of chill there for a little while until more supply dries up and it continues its next move. But there's nothing suspicious about this very normal market movement. Alex, how do you feel about the gold cards? Don, I'm not the biggest fan, man. I don't know if you are, but, nothing against them. It's just, same thing like in Sun and Moon. It's just kind of like they reuse the same artwork in the V or V Star in the gold and the rainbow. And, I just think a lot of people just want that, like that one of a kind art like they do in the SIRs or the alt arts, things like that. But it's not to say they can't do well. I mean, I think a lot of the gold cards still do relatively well in the sets. I know the gold Lugia is pretty high in Silver Tempest. I know like the gold Galarian Birds hold some value, or the gold Giratina. Like the gold cards hold value. It's just I'm not the biggest fan. Like there's a lot of things I pick up before those, but nothing wrong with them. They're very hard to pull. Gold cards are pretty rare. So which $300, in your opinion, would be the best grade and flip? Gengar? Unless you can find a Giratina. I'm not sure what those raw are going for yet. I guess we can look it up live though. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and look up the Giratina. 186. Let's see what we can get a Giratina for right now. Actually, no. I mean, it looks like you can still find Giratinas raw for under 300. So if it was me, I'd maybe try to find a 9 that looked minty I could crack and regrade, or find a raw copy you could grade. That's probably the card that I would try to grade with $300 right now, because it's got a better, I mean, it's already in the 700s. It looks like it's going higher. The Gengar is not a bad choice either, though. Other $300 cards, I still think the Giratina is probably better than the Blaziken or anything like that. Yeah, Gengar or Giratina, both great choices though, Anthony. People smarter than me. You mean everyone? Yes, Pokemon department store. I do mean everyone. It is funny, man. Like just for giggles, I'll stop by like random streams from time to time, and no joke, I kid you not. Somehow I'll click on, and within some sort of time, my name gets brought up. They'll talk about me and Nostalgianomics, Alex, and dude, I get dogged on so hard, especially in like the more like I said, the vintage, more modern denial channels, the cabal style channels, the channels who are like really about like full-time businesses, really about like live selling. I get dogged on, man. It's like they think everything I say is so stupid, and it's like, hey man, what can you do, right? I mean, I'm not going to be liked by everyone, but yeah, man, that statement's so funny, because depending on who you talk to in this hobby, yeah, people will tell you every single person in this hobby is so much smarter than me, and I'm just a complete buffoon, and it's kind of funny. Like I said, I've unsubscribed to most every Pokemon channel at this point, because I'm sick of it. Like, I'm sick of hearing all the negativity and all the making fun of investors, and hearing all the modern negativity and how everything is just a joke, and people who crap on me or whatever. And it's just like, but every time and time again, I'll search and I'll click on one of them, and it just never fails. I somehow make my way into people's conversations, and whatever. For better or worse, I'm glad it gave them content, I'm glad it was able to get people together and all joke and laugh about me, and they were able to have a good time. I'm glad I'm able to provide good times for people. That's all I can say. Looking at things positively. Alex, your videos got me started over a few months ago. Thanks for what you do. Hey, CL Bookstore, appreciate that. I hope things have been going well. I mean, seeing as how the market's been doing in the past 3 months, I can only imagine you're doing well right now. And guys, like that's why I do it right there. It's the amount of people that I've had reach out, whether it be Instagram or email or Discord, or even comments, live streams. Like, I've had so many people like reach out and tell me how well they've done since they started the hobby, and since they found my channel, and how much money they've made, and how the great plays they've made by seeing one of my videos and taking action. And it's just like, that's what I love about this. Like, people actually share with me like their actual like collector apps, or their actual like investment like portfolio or spreadsheets they have. And man, it's just like, it's so awesome to see people like make these thousands and thousands of dollars in gains by just putting into practice these simple, very simple tactics in this hobby. And like I said, I'm happy to see everyone successful. As long as you are not lying, cheating, scamming anyone out of money, I am happy with any way you find to make money other than those in this hobby, no matter what it is. It could be English, vintage, Japanese, modern. It can be doing pack breaks or live streaming, or full-time selling, in-person selling, making freaking mystery packs. I don't care, right? I'm happy for everyone seeing success in the hobby, though. I'm surprised how XY secrets aren't worth more. More that Gyarados EX is fire. So here's the thing with XY. The singles most of the time are dirt cheap. They're like under $100, but the graded 10s are very expensive. I mean, take like the Breakthrough Mewtwo. What is it? Like I had it up earlier. Let me see what it is. It is, yeah, it's like $40, $50 raw. I sold one of those for $650 in a 10. So the exponential gains you see in XY cards is far more than what you're going to see in Sun and Moon or Sword and Shield cards. And the reason is they're so much harder to grade. But because of that, the ones on the market at this point, even though they're near mint, they're like 7 and 8 quality, maybe 9 quality. It's very hard to find a near mint 10 on the market. Whereas with Sun and Moon, it's a little easier. With Sword and Shield, it's a whole lot easier to still find near, PSA 10 raw copies on the market. And that's why you see XY look dirt cheap. But once you dig into it and look at what the PSA 10 prices are, it's very expensive when you look at that. And the reason is because it's just so hard to grade those cards. The pop reports on a lot of those are like in the low hundreds. And like I said, you're not going to see many more graded because even when people open boxes or packs, the cards they pull are very bad condition. All the ones on the market have already been picked over, and the pop reports are rising very slowly. And so, yeah, XY, it's great if you want to collect it raw. Very hard if you want to collect it in 10s. I mean, I just sold that the Groudon EX from Double Crisis. That it's got like, I don't know, 10 or 14 or I don't know, 8 PSA 10 copies. I just sold a PSA 10 copy to someone, and it's a card I'm sure I'll never see again in a PSA 10. But it's things like that where like you literally have cards that have 10, 15, 20. Like they're harder to grade. Their conditional rarity, it rivals that of a lot of the gold stars type things. And so yeah, XY is a different beast. YouTubers stopped making content. Could that crash the card market? Potentially. Like if YouTubers quit in mass, yeah, potentially. That's actually one of the reasons why I think the market's so much stronger now than what you saw in the 90s or what you saw with like 90s sports cards, what you saw with other collectibles of the past, is because you are 24/7 engaged on social media every day. I think that's a huge part of it. Yeah. And you have a whole group of people online you can constantly share your collection with and talk about the hobby with in Discords and Instagrams and live streams. Whereas you didn't have that back in the day. You had your local, your neighborhood friends, you had your school, maybe if you went to card shops or Toys R Us tournaments, that's it. Otherwise, that was it. When that dried up, there's no one to talk about it with. Now, because you can talk about it with people, like-minded people worldwide every single day, 24/7, I think that is one of the reasons why the hobby is strong, but I don't think it's ever going to go away. Like if 5 creators quit, 10 more will pop up, so I think we're okay. Jordan says, which set do you like the best at current price points? I feel like Lost Origin has a lot of upside, but they just keep printing it like crazy. Lost Origin, Jordan, I'm pretty sure Lost Origin's done. They had that final reprint. Yeah, I think Lost Origin's a great pickup at Pokemon Center prices right now. Brilliant Stars, I think, is a great pickup at Pokemon Center pricing. Those are the 2 sets I'm eyeing now. After that would probably be Silver Tempest. And after Silver Tempest, it'd probably move into like Scarlet Violet era stuff. If you don't already have like other positions and things like in Evolving Skies, Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike. Yeah, I mean, eventually when those boxes get in like the mid 2s, $300 a box, it's going to make a lot more sense to move into Scarlet and Violet. Right now, it probably makes a little more sense to move into Sword and Shield. I do both, but if you had to pick one or the other, I still think Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, those are good pickups. How much do you think Sword and Shield boxes will be in 20 years? I think like base Rebel, they'll probably be in the $400 or $500 range, I would guess. Guys, these are just guesses. Vivid Darkness, they'll probably be in the $300-$400 range. Battle Styles probably same. $300, $400, $500. Maybe the alt arts really pick up. It's like a $500 box because it has the Tyranitar and other alt arts in it. And then all the big boxes, I think Evolving Skies will be multiple thousands, $3, $4, $5,000, if not more. I think a lot of the other boxes will probably be in the high hundreds, if not thousands. Probably all in the thousands. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm looking at XY and Sun and Moon and seeing what happened there in a short amount of time. Sword and Shield's got more popularity. The alt arts have more popularity than anything in those sets had. I would expect all of them to be a lot higher than they are now. Collector's Dream, if this is true, that's incredible. If this is true and not some internet BS, that's incredible. Congrats to you, man. Congrats to you. Only 2 cases of Astro left on TCG Player. This market's wild, guys. Things move so quick. So quick. Yeah, Silver Tempest at 109 euros a box. Good pickup. It's a good pickup. Getting tax returns soon. What's a better buy, Lost Origin or Brilliant Stars? Oh, man. That is so hard. I've said it before, and I'll stick to it. I could be wrong. I still think Brilliant Stars is going to sell out on Pokemon Center faster than Lost Origin. So I think it'll probably be a better shorter-term play. Lost Origin will probably edge it out longer term. But I think there's still a lot of Lost Origin out there. I think it's gonna take a little longer to sell out on Pokemon Center than Brilliant Stars is. So long term though, if you're looking for a long term, Lost Origin is probably still the better play. Magikarp PE, same artist as Giratina Elo alt art, I believe. They look similar. I'd have to look into that. Yeah, I haven't ever looked at the artists. They could be, though. They look very similar. I'm going to wait for more to show up on Pokemon Center like Fusion Strike. Good luck. I mean, I wish you the best. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see any more show up. Yeah, guys, I thought Brilliant Stars was going to be next. I didn't see Astro being next, but hey, don't get them all right. And that's the thing about this hobby. It's like, you know, it's always fun to call people out when they get something wrong. I mean, look, have I got things wrong? I have, but I feel like I've had a very good track record since I've been on YouTube and in the public eye. I had a good track record before that too, but I mean, ever since I've actually started making predictions and making plays and making videos, I've been pretty spot on. I mean, I would say probably 90-95% of the time things have worked out. If you can continue to do that, if you can ask any like Wall Street trader, any investor out there in any aspect of life, if you can be right like 80-90% of the time, you are going to be extremely well off. You are going to do extremely well, right? So sure, I've got Pokemon Go wrong. Sure, I've got some random things wrong here or there, missed some plays, bought some things that were wrong. But overall, I think things have been pretty good since I started YouTube. And so like, that's all you're trying to do, guys, is try to get the majority of your things right? You're always going to take some speculation plays, but don't beat yourself up when you get 1 or 2 things wrong, or you break even, or things have been sitting stagnant for a little too long and you got to take a little bit of loss, or you take a loss. Don't beat yourself up, because as long as you're right 75, 80, 85, 90+ % of the time in this hobby, you're going to do very well. Very well. Brett, Don is the GOAT. He's a very giving person, man. Pokey Kid's in the house. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Ghastly from Temporal Forces will be the next Magikarp. You know, I don't know. You know, because Groudon didn't do it. Everyone thought Groudon was going to be that next one for Paradox Rift, right? And it did well, but it kind of fell off and stabilized. I think Ghastly's in a bit of too much of a pump right out the gate. I think it'll stabilize. It'll do well. It'll probably be the best IR, right? It'll do extremely well. But Magikarp, man, that's here's the other thing about Temporal Forces is, from everything I've seen so far, and I've talked to others and they kind of agree, it's been a lot better print quality. Which one of the reasons the Magikarp is so sought after in a 10 is the print quality is so awful that it's so hard to get. Which that's a whole other discussion I want to have right now. I've been talking to others about the print runs and not the print runs, the print quality and the pop reports in Scarlet Violet era. You know, I think a lot of these cards are being slept on, and it's not because I think that they're just that great of arts or that great of Pokemon or whatever it may be, but the pop reports are so low, even on base set Paldea after a year or a year plus time. When you looked at Sword and Shield sets in a year's time, they were much higher. we're seeing a lot of these cards that are sought after Pokemon, some of the best hits in the set, still in the 2, 3, 400s even in PSA 10s. What this means is, one, people are just concentrating all their money on Sword and Shield right now. They're not worrying about it. We're going to see a huge influx of grading cards coming in, but that's not usually the norm a year after a set's released. Or two, these cards are such bad quality that people are just not even bothering sending them in because no one sees any chance of them getting 10s. Because the margin between the raw card and the 10, it's there. A lot of these cards have like 5x, 10x multiples in PSA 10s. The money's there. The grading play is there. So the only reason people wouldn't be sending them into grade is my suspicion, which I've already kind of saw myself with trying to find gradable copies. You can't find any gradable copies. Go try to find gradable copies of 151 regular illustration rares. They're just not out there. They're not out there. And that could really play into a factor. Now, there is one little hiccup that could really screw you if you're making long-term plays or like, longer, shorter-term plays, medium-term plays on these graded cards or trying to grade yourself is if Pokemon does a reprint and the new reprint is the same quality or better than what we've seen in Temporal Forces. And they send out Paldea Evolved reprints and 151 reprints with better quality cards. And it's easy to grade the Magikarps and the Charizards and all that stuff. That could really hurt. And so there's a lot of unknowns right now because Scarlet Violet's so new. And so, look, a lot of plays you can make, a lot of risks you can take. Just understand they are risks. Nostalgianomics, still undecided about Card Party. Yeah, I still don't have a ticket. I'm still undecided. We're already going to New Jersey for like a vacation. We're going to that Collecticon. I'm gonna stop by and see Pokemon Plumber. If you're watching, man, can't wait to hang out, dude. I have another friend that lives in Connecticut. I'm gonna see, play some golf. I'm gonna roll with some of the jiu-jitsu gyms up there that he trains at, and so it's gonna be fun. We're probably gonna hit up New York City for a couple days, me and my wife, and so we're gonna kind of make that like a vacation. I don't know if I'm gonna make a whole nother vacation to Florida because I'm in Missouri. Both those are like flights, if not like 14-hour plus drives, and so I haven't decided yet. Haven't decided. Scott says transitioning out of alt arts into LO, Brilliant Star, Silver Tempest is going to be the play here. I find it hard to believe Giratina alt art PSA 10 will hit 1,000 while LO hits around $300 a box. If you look back at some of the most sought after cards of other eras, those exponential returns aren't they're not odd, right? Like if you look at I don't know, like the Mewtwo from Shining Legends, it's like $600-700 card. The ETB is only $300. If you look at like the the Silver Dialga, it's a lot more than Phantom Forces booster boxes are. If you look at the Burning Shadows Charizard GX, it's huge amount more than what the Burning Shadows box is. And so I don't think it's a huge issue that the card is that much over the booster box. It's super hard to pull, incredibly hard to find near mint raw as a PSA 10 copy. And it is, one of the most sought after alt arts of the entire era. So it doesn't scare me too much, Scott. But at the same time, I don't disagree with you. It's not a bad time to realize some profits on alt arts and roll it into sealed product of those sets. Makes perfect sense to me because the odds are if both go up, you're fine. If we do see a retrace, odds are the booster boxes won't retrace and the cards will. So no, not a bad option at all, dude. I feel sealed is 9 out of 10 times better investment rather than buying slabs or ungraded cards. The gambling factor is undefeated. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a safer play. Definitely a safer play. Do you see a repeat of Sword and Shield for Scarlet Violet in the same time frame, give or take? Once it goes out of rotation, being around $150, $200 a box. I do. I actually do see that. That's why I'm moving into all the sets. I believe in it. Do you think Gengar could perform better over time than Giratina? I thought it would. I personally thought it would. I'm a Gen 1 boomer, though. I grew up in the 90s with the original 151. So I feel that Gengar is a stronger card than a Giratina. The market doesn't agree with me. Is what it is, right? You can't fight the market. You can't fight the overall sentiment of the masses that buy these cards. I think it'll always be very close. I think it'll always be right behind it. I think it'll always be kind of Umbreon, Rayquaza, Giratina, and Gengar is probably the top 4 alt arts of this era. Maybe Blaziken as number 5, but I don't know if it's ever going to pass Giratina. I don't think this market wants Gengar as much as Giratina in this era. Maybe overall Gengar's more popular species, more popular Pokemon, but it seems like with this alt art, with this art in general, it seems like people like this art better than the Gengar art more. It's what, and they're both popular Pokemon. Not taking anything away from Giratina. It's just on average, Gengar's always been, Gengar just seems to have more love than Giratina as a whole. It's just when it comes to this card, it's not the case. No, I don't think Astral Radiance is a new team up. Maybe if Astral Radiance was Battle Styles, like if Astral Radiance was the set that introduced alt arts in Sword and Shield and it was short printed, it would have a better chance of being something like a team up. Still not as good. But no, it's just a regular alt art set in the middle. It was short printed, but it's not going to be a team up scenario. No, I don't think so. Zach, love your channel. How do you feel about holding out or holding on to some of the unopened Paldean Fates? I see they're sold out on Pokemon Center. Yeah, I like Paldean Fates. The PC ETBs for sure. I mean, I like the Mimikyu art on it. I like the Mimikyu promo. Stamp promos on these PC ETBs I think is good. What you have to remember is Scarlet Violet era hasn't started moving yet. And so it's hard to tell how the PC ETBs are going to perform, right? The fact is, a lot of the Scarlet Violet era booster boxes are remaining pretty stagnant, if not moving up a little bit. Whereas a lot of the PC ETBs have actually already had some gains. 151's doubled almost, right? Some of the other base set or Obsidian Flames, they're seeing some gains over what they were selling for at Pokemon Center. Meaning they're technically outperforming the other sealed products right now. Now, do I expect that to last? No, I expect booster boxes to end up being number 1 like they always are. But seeing the PC TVs already hold steady and perform relatively well and sell out and things like that, I like it. So Paldean Fates, yeah, I like that PC ETB. Lost Origin case just arrived. I love it. Good times, good times. No, I'm not. No mystery boxes here. No mystery packs, guys. Nothing like that coming from me. I think people are sleeping on Crown Zenith. So many beautiful art cards. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. I feel the same way. I think people give Crown Zenith such a hard time, and they say there's not. I've heard people say there's not much value in it, right? Not much value in Crown Zenith. So let's go ahead and look up Crown Zenith real quick. So not much value, right? It's a sub $40 ETB if you buy by the case right now. Sub $40, okay? You have an $80 card Giratina up front. You have a almost $60 Arceus card, a $40-something Mewtwo, $38 Palkia, $36 Dialga. All these cards are like, in the teens. Look at all these cards you can pull for a $40 ETB. There are booster boxes that have similar value to this. Like here, if we go let's type in something like Battle Styles, right? Type in Battle Styles. Let's look at those cards. Tyranitar, $88. Barely more than the Giratina. $47, right on track with the Arceus. $27, worse than the Mewtwo, right? Worse than the other gold cards. Then it goes down from there. So technically, Crown Zenith has more value in a $40 ETB than a $100 and something booster box. And this isn't just bad. This isn't picking on Battle Styles. You could do this for multiple sets of $150, $200 booster boxes. Guys, Crown Zenith is very undervalued because of how massive the reprint was. I tell everyone all the time, it's still one of my most open sets on my box break. I have box break. If you guys don't know, I have box breaks every Thursday night. It's going to happen tomorrow. It's at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you want to show up, even if you don't want to open packs, it's always a good time. We always have fun. We pulled the Lugia alt art last week. We pulled the what else did we pull? We pulled the Raging Bolt, and we also pulled the Walking Wake from Temporal Forces. I feel like we pulled another huge hit too from something. The Ultra, what did we pull? We pulled like the Dialga Rainbow Rare from Forbidden Light. We pulled some really good stuff last week. But anyway, if you want to show up to the box breaks there tomorrow, you don't have to participate if you want to show up. If you do want to participate, I will have packs available tomorrow on nostalgianomics.com if you want to check them out. But anyway, it is one of the most requested sets to be opened on my box breaks pretty much every time. Every single week, basically, Crown Zenith packs sell. Some weeks, they're the most sold packs, along with 151 and whatever the newest sets are. It's just the way it is. So like the popularity is still there. The hype is still there. And once the supply gets eaten up, you will probably see a quick rise back in the 50s, back in the 60s, in my opinion. Is now, guys, is this something I'm telling you? This is going to be a $200 ETB? No. But it could very easily be a $60, $70, $80 ETB in the near future. So, you know, if buying into something that's $300 and something a case and could be worth $600, $700, $800 a case in the very near term future, which I believe, if that's worth it to you, might be worth to move in. But yeah, I'm with you. Crown Zenith underrated. Rory's been in some of the pack breaks. What would you say are the two sealed products you're thinking of the best place currently? Is it strictly LO and Brilliant Stars before they sell out on Pokemon Center, or is there another product? Yeah, Rory. Unfortunately, there's no secret sauce, man. I think it's those two are the best plays. Probably behind that now that Astral Radiance is gone, probably going to be Silver Tempest. From there, it's hard because you could argue Battle Styles is still a really good pickup because it does have the Tyranitar and some other alt arts in the low hundreds, and it's already old. So I'd probably even say Battle Styles, as crazy as that sounds, or if you want to start getting positions in like, you know, Paldea Evolved or things like that. Maybe the Japanese 151 reprints coming out if you're a Japanese collector. So there's other things out there. But yeah, I think LO and Brilliant Stars Pokemon Center pricing is kind of a no-brainer right now, in my opinion. It's a brainer. No-brainer. My mind is blowing that my Evolving Skies booster boxes skyrocket and my Evolving Skies ETBs are hardly moved. Here's the reason, Jordan. It's the same thing with the booster bundles. Everyone like getting enamored with booster bundles, and I'm always the odd man out because, you know, I don't try to be contrarian. It's just I guess I see things different than people. The 151 booster bundles only rose because they were scarce, right? I don't believe there's going to, because if you look at other sets, there's not a sealed premium on a booster bundle. It's worth basically what the 6 loose packs are, maybe a little bit more because it's a sealed product and not just a loose pack, right? The same thing goes for ETBs. They're basically valued at what the loose packs are valued at, plus maybe a little extra for the sealed product, artwork, whatever. But booster boxes are valued at the scarcity of the booster box. They're collected. And so booster boxes rise based on scarcity. They don't rise based on pack value. And that's what warps everyone's minds when they see that. They think something's off. They think the ETBs are undervalued. They're a huge buy. They think the booster boxes are overvalued. They're going to fall. And actually, neither one is true, right? The booster boxes are probably properly valued. The ETBs are properly valued. If you can buy, you know, 8 loose packs on the market of Evolving Skies at $80, the ETBs are probably going to be $85, $90, right? A little bit of a premium to the loose packs, not much, right? And that's just kind of how it's going to be because there's just not a premium for other sealed products the way there is for booster boxes. So the other sealed products are basically valued at what the packs are worth, what the promo cards are worth. You know, if there's other items in there that maybe have some value, a metal coin, I don't know. But that's pretty much it. Man, I thought I was almost caught up to the chat. I'm getting further and further behind. I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying to catch up. It's been said that even if underlying raw prices may decrease, the PSA 10 version of it stagnates and keep rising. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times that can happen. The PSA 10 can be affected too, but usually at a lesser percentage rate. Usually the PSA 10s are going to hold up better than raw cards are. You know, this is a bad question for me because it's probably not realistic for some people. Like, what's your biggest L that you've had speculation-wise? I haven't had any, and this isn't me trying to act like I'm like some wizard. I'd admit it to you if I had big losses. I just haven't, right? I luckily got in 2015, 2016, before a lot of the big moves happened. I sold out, you know, in like 2021, 2020 time. I got back in, and since I've been back in, I've been holding long term. Almost everything I've been holding has risen. I mean, Pokemon Go is probably my most public like blunder. Didn't really take much of a loss. Like, I dumped a lot of the cases. The ones I dumped locally, I actually broke even, if not made a few bucks on. The ones I sold on TCG Player and eBay, I lost a few bucks on. I mean, like we're talking like hundreds. Like my biggest losses in this hobby have been like hundreds, never thousands. And so I haven't had any bad losses, bad speculations. But another thing is, I'm as much as people think this is like the craziest thing to risk money in this hobby. If you take that out of the equation, I'm actually pretty conservative with my investing and my speculations. I don't take a lot of crazy gambles. I don't take a lot of crazy chances. I'm actually pretty methodical on when I buy things, how I buy things, at what price points I buy them at, and have relatively realistic time frames in mind. So I don't get in too much trouble, TJ. But again, that's hard because other people have gotten, you know, huge hit bad if they got in during the boom and got crashed on, if they bought into, you know, sharp price rises like Team Up and things, like all those single cards like the waifus and the tag teams. They probably got crushed if they bought in at the highs. People in Japanese right now who bought in during the bubble, they probably are getting crushed right now. So you lose money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everything goes up forever and you can never lose money in this hobby. I just haven't had any issues, any big issues. Like, you know, any plays I've messed up have been like in the hundreds, no thousands, no hurt, no life-changing losses. So just it's just, I don't know, it's being conservative, buying in at the right times, the right price points. Don't get caught up in FOMO. Don't chase things. You can do well. Guys, I like Pokemon Go. I still like it even to this day. I like the set. I like the Mewtwo. I like how it has the first Radiant Charizard, how it has the Radiant Blastoise and Venusaur in it. I like, I mean, it's not great, but I like it at $35, $40 in ETB. I think it can easily get to $60 to $70 in ETB in the long run. But it'll have a cap. It'll have a ceiling. It'll never go to what Hidden Fates or something like that went to. And I understand that. But I still like the set. I don't hate it like other people do. Made over 200 to 300K last year purely buying cases, booster boxes a few months after release. Dude, that's incredible. Reach out to me and let me know your method. I'd love to hear it. Nostalgianomics@gmail.com. That's awesome, man. Congrats. I have a bunch of sealed Pokemon Go. The tins, I have one of each character, and all of the promos have a swirl. Find a complete set with a swirl in 10 years sealed. Good luck. Yeah, I mean, Keith, I'm not one of those people. I don't get it, but you're right. A lot of people in this hobby have a thing for those swirls, don't they? Could be a good speculation there. Don asking how the PC's going. So Don, again, if anyone didn't know, he helped me, or didn't help me. He built it. He built a new PC for me. It's not hooked up yet. It's hooked up. I don't have the like OBS Streamlabs and all that set up. I'll probably be streaming on that next week. But no, Don, everything's been good so far. I just have to get reacquainted with Streamlabs OBS and make sure everything is good properly. And you know, because it's a little harder to use in StreamYard is. It's not just click and go. You have to kind of set things up. But I fully expect to be using that next week. So yeah, Don, everything's good right now. Appreciate it, dude. There's not a single other content creator that has been able to deliver real data info and make consistent predictions like you, Alex. Keep doing what you're doing. Man, Natty, I appreciate that. Like, and yeah, that's my thing is, you know, anyone that's like come out against me or like try to like say anything I'm saying is wrong or no one has the data, right? Like anything, any claim I've made and have been like rebutted or been attacked about, no one's came back at me with any hardcore data and numbers to disprove anything I've said. It's always they just talk about their own opinions or, you know, how I'm wrong because of X, Y, and Z, but without any data or any proof. That's my issue with this hobby and this space is everyone just wants to talk out their ass, right? Everyone just wants to turn on the camera and spew whatever nonsense they're thinking that they're feeling. And, well, I've been collecting for 10 years. I've made money in this hobby because I got lucky when everything went to the moon and Logan Paul was in it. And so now I'm wealthy. And since I have a big collection, I've made a lot of money in this hobby. Everything I say is gospel. No, it's not. Hobbies change. Markets change. Just because you got lucky that you collected a hobby that went to the moon doesn't mean you understand how markets work. And if I am wrong, show me the data. Link me to the video. I'll happily watch it. Here's the other thing. I'll even admit I'm wrong when I'm wrong. But if I can't see anywhere I'm proven wrong, and it's just, well, you know, this guy, and that girl all say you're wrong, and they've been in the hobby longer than you, and they agree, that doesn't tell me. That means nothing, right? What does that mean? So, yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. Like, and I'd love to have more debates with people. It's just people don't like it. Like, other creators don't want to debate. They think it's like a fight, or you're like at each other's throats, or you hate each other. Like, we can debate and still be friends afterwards. We can have completely different sides of arguments and hash it out on screen, and then click end, and then say, oh, man, that was a good conversation. Yeah, same here. Yeah, hey, I wish you the best with the stuff you're doing, though. I guess we'll see in the next few years who's right. That easy. But the issue is people take things personal. They get really upset. You know, you have like groups form, one group versus the other, kind of like in this country in the US, like Republicans versus Democrats, and everyone's at each other's throats. And unfortunately, that's just kind of how things end up. And I wish it wasn't that way, because I love debates I used to have in this hobby. And I think it was good for everyone to hear both sides. But again, it's just kind of where we're at. You know, I don't want to be out there hurting people's feelings and making people upset and hate me and hate. I don't want that. I don't want to spread that. It's not what I'm about. It's not what I've ever been about. And I've never attacked anyone personally. All I've ever been about was showing the real data and real numbers, and how what other people were saying were actually wrong. And it wasn't to say they were bad people. It was just to show that, hey, you know, maybe you've been stuck in your ways too long. Maybe you haven't looked at every angle of this. Maybe you need to go back and look at the data again. Maybe you need to, you know, take another look at the market. And unfortunately, that was met with I'm trying to, you know, hurt the hobby, or I'm trying to cause fights and arguments. And so I veered away from all that, and I'm just staying in my own lane now. And I just don't mess with those people or that side of the hobby. And so I guess it's for the best. Maybe it's not. Whatever. Peek at you. What's up, man? Been a while since I caught you alive. How much Japanese 151 are you going to buy with the reprints? It's more bullish on English or Japanese? I mean, gosh, here's the thing, man. I don't like Japanese. Okay, I don't like it personally. Don't like it anywhere near as much as English. I've had Ray, you know Ray, had him force me to open I bought it at full price. He maybe give me a little deal. Bought a full price Japanese boxes from him, opened them right in front of him with him at Collecticon, held the cards. I saw the differences in the Japanese and English cards, held them in my hands, opened the pack, saw the hits. It just doesn't do it for me. I gave it a try. I tried. I gave it a real try, an honest try. I just have no connection, no feeling for Japanese cards. So for me, it's hard because I have no interest in owning or collecting Japanese product, but I can't deny it's going to be a good pickup and a good investment, right? And so, yes, I am going to be looking to pick up 151 because it's a booster box and English doesn't have booster boxes. It will probably outperform English ETBs or whatever in the long run. I think regular sets, like, you know, let's take like any regular set, like Paldea Evolve. I think Paldea Evolve booster boxes in English will outperform Japanese booster boxes of Paldea equivalent in the long term. But yeah, specialty sets, they do usually have a leg up on English because they actually print them in booster boxes and not in like ETBs and things like that. So yeah, I do like Japanese 151. How much I'm going to be buying, I haven't decided yet. I think it really depends on the price point. If it drops into like the 60s or 80s, I will be picking up a lot. If it doesn't drop like anywhere like around 100 or even less than 100, it's not as enticing for me. Like, I like to get into things with at very low price points, very low risk, and as low risk as people think $100 for a Japanese box is, you got to remember the MSRP is like less than half of that. Okay, so it'd be like picking an English box up at. And I'm not going to be unfair and say it's like picking an English box up at double MSRP. That'd be like $320. No, but it'd be like picking an English box up at like say 80 or 90. So like 160 to 180, right? It's like picking a box up at 160 to 180 in English. There's still a risk there, right? There was still a risk picking. A lot of people didn't want to pick up Evolving Skies boxes in English when they were 160 to 180, right? When they got reprinted. And so there is a risk there. I still think you're going to be okay, but I'll be buying a lot more if it dips into the 60s, 80s range than I will if it's like 100, 120 range. But I'm going to pick some up. Even though I don't like it, I can't deny it's a good investment. Yeah, I just answered that, Anthony. I do think they will be worth picking up. Pokey Plumber, what's up, man? Making that money out there. I like it. Speaking of grading, Alex, what are your thoughts on PSA taking auto submissions and labeling everything as not authentic and still taking payment? Their auto guy was let go and they can't authenticate. This is news to me. Did not know any of this. That's very interesting. Not authentic. Wow. And still charging people. My take is that's wrong. You guys know I'm a PSA guy. By the way, hold on. Yeah, I'll answer that question. I think it's wrong. That's terrible. They should have just sent everyone an email and saying, hey, your order is going to be delayed until we get a new auto authenticator. They shouldn't be doing that. So that's my take on that. But hey, another thing that I never get credit for, right? CGC. You guys see how bad CGC cards have fallen off, how bad the demand has fallen off, the price points compared to PSA or a BGS 10s. Like, but again, no, everyone was, calling me an idiot at the time, right? Everyone was saying, I'm just a boomer. I'm just into PSA. I don't understand. This is the future, all that stuff. The cases look more clear than PSA cases, whatever reason, right? And I got called all the names in the world, and look how that turned out. But again, no one wants to apologize for all the hate. They just want to move on to the next thing and pile on me for the next thing I say. And maybe it'll be proven right, maybe it'll be wrong. But I'll guarantee you, if it's wrong, I'll be reminded of it. If it's right, no one will ever say a word. And that's how this hobby is. And I love it. I love every second of it. So fun. Pokey Grinding, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Love having you always here in the chats. New Jersey, yeah, in July, I will be there, man. I'll be there. I'll see you there for sure. Yeah, I'm in a suburb of St. Louis. So like St. Peters, Missouri is where I'm at. So Kansas City, it's about a three and a half hour drive for me. Not too bad, Brad. It's nice that you guys still got the Chiefs because we lost the Rams. So I'm like unofficially a Chiefs fan now just by default. So I guess I can say we won the Super Bowl. Oh, man. Trav, if you want to hang around New Jersey and want to roll, let me know. I'll reach out and try to get you in a gym and open mat. Oh, awesome, man. You roll too? Yeah. Well, hopefully you're in a live or you can reach out to me. Discord, Instagram, whatever. Let me know. And we can talk more about it when it gets closer to that time. Yeah, I definitely want to get some rolls in. Obviously, me and a friend of mine, we're going to get some rounds of golf in. See some sights, see the cities, and hit up Collecticon. So it's gonna be a fun trip. It's gonna be a fun trip. Let's see. Do you think Obsidian Flames is going to be one of the better earlier SV sets because of the Charizard? No, Tiberius, I don't. I mean, look at Burning Shadows. It's still lagging most of the other Sun and Moon sets. Has the best Charizard of the whole modern era, right? I mean, that Charizard in a PSA 10, that Rainbow Rare Charizard GX number 150, it's going for like $2,300 ish. That's more than any Charizard in modern era is going for in a PSA 10. Maybe the Flashfire Secret Rare Charizard's close, but I don't even think it's that high. And so That didn't help the price of that booster box enough. You have Burning Shadows. It didn't help enough. You've got Champion's Path having, you know, some of the best Charizards in Sword and Shield other than the Charizard Alt Art. It didn't help Champion's Path that much. Brilliant Stars, you know. So I don't think just the Charizard is enough. The Charizards are enough to keep that as one of the best sets, man. Just my opinion. People are sleeping on Crown Zenith. I agree. I agree. Full disclosure. Just picked up 4 more Crown Zenith cases last week. I picked up 4 more Crown Zenith cases last week. And no, I've already got inventory for box breaks. Those were to go on the shelves downstairs, not to see the light of day for a while. A video tour of everything? I don't know, man. I don't know. You gotta keep something to the imagination. Oh no, Pooping Turtle. I'm with you. Like I actually like the Urishifu cards, like the arts. I just don't know if Urishifu as a Pokemon has enough like following to propel it the way the other alt arts do. It has nothing to do with how great the card looks. The card looks awesome. As a collection piece, it looks great. It's just like that blue one's $48 raw market price. Dude, if you look at what you can pick up for $48 raw market price on some of these cards right now, there's a lot of other cards I want over Urishifu is the thing, right? Of popular Pokemon, of alt arts. You know, like the Articuno Zapdos V alt arts from Chilling Reign are that price or less. You know, you've got, I mean, that Celebi's way less, which I like more. The, I mean, there's just a lot of cards out there that are less, right? But I don't know. But you missed it all, man. You missed it all. I had a live match with the Cabal that you missed. We duked it out. I had to cut it out though, so you can't even go back and watch it. It's all been edited already live. Don't even know how I edited it, but I did. So man, sorry, dude. You missed it all, man. No, I don't think Sword and Shield products are going to restock. You may see like some things pop up for like a flash, an instant, and have like a little bit of stock and then get bought out immediately really quickly. I don't see any major restocks coming on Sword and Shield product. Eli, Pokemart USA, he's been telling me everything Sword and Shield's been selling out of distribution. And I don't mean booster boxes. I mean everything. ETBs, blisters, sleeved packs, tins, boxes, like anything, it's all selling out, right? And so that's usually a telltale sign of that product from that era is kind of over and we're moving to Scarlet Violet. There's that super sticker. Appreciate it, Pokey Grinding. Pikachu Van Gogh canvases? Royalty, man, I'm sorry. I don't dig into all those like other items like plushes and canvases and skateboards, and I'm sure there's a lot of opportunity in a lot of those things if you want to dive into that market. I just don't. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. You only have so much time in every day. I don't have time to follow all those types of items and markets, so I don't know, man. It's possible. I know there were far more demand than there was supply for them, which is nice. That's always a good thing for an investment. The Joe Rogan of our hobby got dropped in that chat. What happened? Hold on, what happened, Peak That You? You gotta fill me in with what happened. Did someone get dropped in a chat? Oh man. Are you still investing in One Piece? Sort of. I haven't picked up any of the new sets because I can't. All the retailers, like they're not. I can't find anyone pre-ordering at decent prices. I'm not paying $150, $200 a box at release. I'm not doing it. Eventually, people are going to get snake bitten. They're eventually going to get hit. Eventually, Bandai is going to print high quantity. They're going to reprint, and people are going to get those boxes they bought for $200 at release dropped to like 90 or 100 or something crazy, and it's going to sting, and that's going to cause shockwaves. And I've said it already. I'm waiting to see when a large amount of supply starts to hit the market and meet the amount of demand. I'm waiting to see how One Piece reacts and how everything, how the market, absorbs that, and how the market, kind of stabilizes through that time. Because right now, all we've known as One Piece is it's super popular. It's got tons of demand, but it's never had anywhere close to the amount of supply it needs, right? I mean, guys, if Pokemon went and started printing like, half of what it does now, you'd see the same thing in Pokemon. You see these boxes all go up to $200 too. It's nothing new. It's just Bandai is not printing any supply. And so it's so hard to tell right now how high the demand and how high the popularity actually is for One Piece, because we haven't seen it stress tested yet. So that's what scares me. So when I was buying boxes at 110, 120, 80, I was I was comfortable, right? Taking that risk. I'm not comfortable taking a $200 risk per box. I'm not comfortable paying, $2,000 a case on a brand new card game. It doesn't mean I can't be wrong, right? It doesn't mean that that Bandai just never fixes it and everything goes to the moon forever. That can happen. I can be wrong, but I'm not going back to taking big losses in this hobby. That's how I stay away from taking huge losses in this hobby, because I don't make plays like that. I don't jump into products at $200 a booster box at release and cross my fingers. I'd rather miss plays than get crushed on plays. And I'm okay missing it if I'm wrong. But I still have my original first 4 sets, with the exception of Romance Dawn. I sold that case. So. Buying and selling Pokemon is basically equated to buying and selling rare art these days. Yeah, 100%. That's a perfect analogy. Absolutely. Yeah, Lorcana. Lorcana's been pumping lately. People have definitely made money on that. On the Elsa, that's been pumping to like $1,200 in a 10 or something. Is that raw or is it 10? 10, I think. Yeah, Lorcana's going crazy. Everything's going crazy right now, guys. We are in a bull market. We are in a seller's market. Everything's to the moon right now. So just be careful. Things can run up a whole lot higher. Don't get me wrong. You can definitely buy into strength and it can continue to go, but just understand the risk you're taking buying into mass spikes like this. What are your thoughts on Catch 'em All Collectibles video that he made about you? Yeah, I'll talk about it. I unsubscribed to Dan's channel. Dan has been a friend. He was the first one when I started YouTube to actually respond to one of my emails when I was trying to email people to let me come on their channel or come on my channel to interview. He was the first person to say yes and respond to me. He's been a lot of help throughout the way. And I don't consider myself not friends with him because he's making videos like that, but I don't need to see that kind of stuff. I don't need to, I just don't need it. So I unsubscribe, not going to be watching Dan's content. I just feel like it's 2024 now. And to still be trying to make fun of people investing in Pokemon or modern Pokemon, it's so played out. It's like you're so wrong. You've been wrong for so many years at this point that it's like, give it up. And even if I get it, it's April Fool's, ha ha ha. But it's like, there's parts of that video that like, in my opinion, they take things a little too far, and it's just like, dude, it's like you're calling people out for the things they do or ways they make money in the hobby. And it's the same thing like a lot of like the cabal, like I call them, do is they make videos and they'll call people out for things they do in the hobby to make money, right? Like how he was making that joke about like using affiliate links. Like, guys, I've said it before. Affiliate links are the single best way you can support any content creator that you like, right? Here's what an affiliate link is. There is affiliate links in my description, and I sometimes put them in the comment section, like Dan joked about in the video. They cost you $0. Zero. I would never push anyone to go buy things that they're not ready to buy and they're not prepared to buy. However, you don't have to subscribe to anything. You don't have to buy anything from me. You don't have to like join the Patreon. You don't have to do anything. But if you're already going to go buy yourself something and you've made up your mind, I'm going to log on TCG Player today, I'm going to buy this card or this product. I'm going to get on eBay and I'm going to find this card or this product. If you're already going to go shopping, why not click on the affiliate link and support a channel that you enjoy the creator and you want to help support them. And they get paid a small, very small commission, like between 1% and 3%. And sometimes the items aren't even commissionable. They just pay you $0. Why not do that when it's literally an extra click and it doesn't charge you a dime extra? That's all an affiliate link is. But affiliate links get demonized for some reason, the same way mystery packs do, which I don't even do mystery packs, but I still don't understand why people demonize mystery packs, or they demonize people who, whatever way they make money, other people make money, get demonized. But then like anything, the people that demonize it, anything they do to make money, it's all okay. Well, it's okay if I, buy a bunch of worthless cards, but then like, flip them first to market. And I know people are going to overpay, but it's okay, right? That's all okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I buy a bunch of cards, right, and be first to market with the grading, and they're going for $500 when the first grading hits the market, and in a month they're all down to $200. Well, that's all okay, even though all those people got hosed, and I knew they were going to get hosed. But that's an okay way to make money. Anything else is not okay. That needs to get demonized. So it's like when you do stuff like that, that kind of hits home for me, and it's like that's like a little too far. Like making fun of like a video or making fun of me is one thing, but like when you start calling people out for like their business and things they do, it's like, dude, it's a little too far. So I have no interest in watching that stuff. That's my thought process on that whole deal. Thousands of Pokemon auto slides being sent in are legit. It's going to be since December. Insane. They're taking people's money. It's a big reason CGC bought JSA. Man, that's going to be a big deal. PSA is going to get hit hard from that. Maybe CGC gets another uptick. I don't know. I'm not an autograph guy. I don't send autographs, so I haven't experienced that. But that's no good. Again, I don't make money that way in the hobby, but I feel for everyone that does, and that sucks, and it's wrong. I have nothing else to say about it. Zach said, I'm in St. Louis. Awesome, man. Yeah, I have a few people here from Missouri and St. Louis area. It's pretty cool. You prefer gel or foam? I use the gel. I use the shaving gel, my man. And then it turns into foam, right? Hey, man, how do you feel about PokeTrainer Ryan? He rips open so many boxes, and it just seems to pull rates. It just seems to pull rates on modern boxes are a joke. Do you think this will affect people wanting to buy these? I think it definitely helped the Blaziken price. I don't know, man. I just think, look, for better or worse, whatever you think about it, I think gambling is just always going to be a thing. Right? I mean, you could show people statistics on gambling, on roulette, on blackjack, on craps, on slot machines, and those same people are going to be right back in the casino next week. You can show people all the stuff you want on odds and booster packs. I just don't think people are going to stop. I think people just enjoy it. One, it's entertainment. Two, people love the gamble. Three, when the gamble pays off, it's exponential, so it kind of keeps you in. It's fun. I don't think it's going to have any crazy effect, but I know what you're saying. I know your point. I don't see it. I think people are always going to want to open packs. I really do. Japanese exclusive products. Yes, those are a big deal. Yes, they can be very investable. Japanese exclusives are always sought after, to different degrees. But yeah, I mean, Japanese exclusives have done well. I will say that. Trump or Biden, Taylor's really trying to. I think everyone knows. I think everyone knows, but we'll leave that to the imagination. Probably pretty obvious who I would vote for, who I do vote for. Appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here and watching. I'm getting flamed on Reddit. God, for telling people to buy Elo and Brilliant Stars. Dude, Reddit is the troll of trolls, the deepest pits of hell, man. You don't go on Reddit. You go on Reddit when you're looking to get flamed. Like that's when you want to have some fun. Question. I found 3-pack bundles at Walgreens for Elo and ST. Is this a restock or is my Walgreens just lazy? I haven't heard anything else about it, so no idea, man. Maybe just found it. Maybe the distributor that supplies them or the who stocks it, just had some to throw. I don't know. That's the first I've heard about it though. He made an April Fool's video about like the top 5 investments and just did it over the top, and a lot of people again, who knows? I had multiple people reach out to me and say, hey, Dan made a video about you. I watched it. It seemed like it was about me. Maybe he'll say it wasn't about me or whatever. I think it was, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, it's fine up to a point, but then you kind of get into other things, and it's like, man, you pick some things too far, and I don't know. I'm not I don't hate Dan. I still consider myself friends with him. He can text me right now. I'm gonna text him back, and I'll see him in person and be cool with him. But at the same time, I don't feel like seeing that kind of content. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to. I'm so sick of it at this point. Of the past 3-4 years, hearing about how bad modern investing is, and how irrational all of us are, and I'm just making fun of anyone who promotes it or acting like we're pumping dumpers. I'm just so over it. It's not that I'm mad and angry. I'm just drained. I'm over it. I don't even feel like fighting it anymore. It's like, dude, all right, if people don't believe in it, so be it. Make fun of me, make fun of all of us. I don't care. We're just going to keep making money. All right, we'll keep making money. All the collectors can keep getting mad at us and blaming the evil investors for prices going up on cards and products, even though it happens every era, every single time. But it's all the investors' fault, and I'm just over it, man. But that's what it was all about. Have any thoughts on 25th anniversary UPC? It's been relatively flat for ages. Think that uptick finally happens this year, close to 30th. I've been asking myself that same question, Rory. I still have some UPCs. I've been asking myself that same question. I think I'm kind of on your mindset. I'm going to probably try to hold till 30th, see if it gets a good uptick. If not, I'll probably just take the gains and move into something else. It does seem like booster boxes are just the main thing people that see the most appreciation. And even though these other products have sought after items and cards and packs and they're scarce, they just don't see the multiples that booster boxes do. The fact that channels still go against sealed when we have so much data, being emotional in any market will break you. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think people just don't, it's kind of like me with Japanese, right? I don't like Japanese, right? But I understand there are investable products in Japanese, like exclusives, like the specialty sets, special certain promos. I understand these things, and I don't deny them. I understand that there are vintage and mid-era cards that will do well. They will do well in the future. I think they're few and far between, and I still think modern boxes are the safest play, and they probably will be the best exponential return out of anything else. I believe that. But others out there, I think they're just so set in their ways that they won't let themselves see any opportunity in modern. They won't let themselves believe that there's enough demand to quench the amount of supply in modern. They won't let themselves understand that pop reports and rarity is not the only thing that moves cards and moves hobbies and moves markets. They won't let themselves accept that even though a card has 5,000-10,000 population, that it can still be sold out. It can still be scarce. It can still rise in value because there's just that many people that want it. You know, we said it a million times. If 10 million people want a 10,000 population card, that is greater than if 10,000 people want a 300 population card. It's always going to be greater, right? Numbers always beat, you know, rarity, right? Because like I said, if you can have a one of one rarest card in the world, but if no one wants that card, it's meaningless, right? You could have a one of 100, but if those 100 cards no one knows about, no one wants, no one cares, they're worthless. You have to have organic demand for something to be worth something. And then the pop reports and the demand, the popularity, all that comes into play later. But you have to have demand for it, organic demand for it to mean anything. Whoever votes for Biden may as well be communist. If Paldea is reprinted a year or your Sword and Shield boxes hit a nice price target, would you sell to buy the next wave era at this point? If that was the only option, maybe. If you have an option to hold your Sword and Shield and buy the Scarlet Violet, I'd probably do that. That would be hilarious if Brilliant Stars sold out on Pokemon Center today. Pokey Profit, congrats on 9K. Thanks a lot. Well deserved. How much Astral Radiance are you sitting on? Boxes already pushing 170 a day after out of stock. Insane. You see it pushing 200 soon if it stays out of stock. Not a lot. Not a lot. Not quite 3 cases. Not quite 3 cases. I don't have a lot of Astral. Yeah, I'm holding it. I'm holding it. Pushing 170 out of stock. Yeah, I think it can hit 200. I think it'll hit 200 for sure this year. Absolutely. Anyone else feel like you're missing out while having so much sealed? I have cases of these skyrocketing. Yeah, exactly. I was just on the phone talking to someone about this today. Like, I'm so happy all this stuff's moving up and I'm making money. But at the same time, like, there's so much I don't have, like the alt arts. Like, there's so many things I don't have that I feel like I'm missing out on. Like more Sword and Shield boxes, more alt arts. And it's like I'm experiencing FOMO, but it's just like, you know, I can only afford so much. I'm not rich. I do the best with what I do the best I can with what I have. It was an April Fool's joke. I get that, average player. I just feel like going into, like, you know, certain things is like taking it too far, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. Big deal. Move on. I'm not like super upset or anything. It's just like I don't need that on my feed type thing. I don't need that on my feed. I've talked about it before. Deleting negativity and negative like off my channel's feed is one of the things I've been really diligent about this year. I want to keep things uplifting, positive, like people who are excited about life, excited about investing, excited about entrepreneurship, business, like grinding forward. Like, you know, I want real advice. Like I want that type of stuff instead of like all the meme, jokey, you know, negative, like, you know, whatever it may be, that type of content, spewing random nonsense that you think of. Like, I don't want any of those channels. Not Dan doesn't do that. I'm saying, like, I don't want any of those kind of channels in my feed. It just doesn't do any good, right? It doesn't benefit my life. Reserved investments, man, dude. He's one of those people that's just too far gone, right? He's just too far gone. Like, I mean, I'd love to talk to Sean, like, but the thing is, it's like, I can tell you exactly how the conversation is going to go. I can tell you every single point he's going to bring up word for word. So I used to watch Sean's content, right? I could tell you everything he's going to bring up word for word. He's been repeating the same tired arguments for years now. And I can tell you everything I'm going to say word for word. We're going to clash. We're going to debate. He's going to disagree with me. I'm going to disagree with him. And there's going to be nothing happen out of it. You're not going to change the guy's mind. I mean, he's a smart guy. He's done his research. He's well studied. But he's one of those people that he refuses to evolve. He refuses to admit that things can change. He refuses to admit that this social media age, this new generation doesn't value the same things the other generations did. They value things differently. They spend their money differently. They spend their time differently. And he doesn't want to admit any of those things. And because of that, it's just he's stuck in his own ways, and he's been wrong now for years and years. But he's done well. He's done well in his other investments. He's fine. He's well off. No hate to the guy, respect the guy. It's just there's no reason, right? I don't think we're going to find any common ground. I think he's the perma bear on modern pop culture collectibles is what it is. But more power to him, you know. He unsubscribed to Dan. I did, Brad. It is what it is. Low pop can equal low popularity. 100%. 100%. How you feeling about Masquerade? I don't, guys. If you name Japanese sets, odds are I don't know what they are. I do not follow the Japanese market in the slightest, so don't know what Crimson Haze is. Masquerade, I think they're flops. Masquerade flop. I mean, here's the thing, man. I just think ESP, like, I just think it's the cool thing to be negative, right? It's the cool kids thing to be negative when it comes to investing, right? It's always cool to hate on the new sets. It's always cool to hate on things when they're going up. It's always cool to hate on modern, like, just like temporal forces. I like temporal forces. I think the legendary beast, the legendary dogs, whatever you want to call them, Raikou, Suicune, Entei, I think those cards are awesome. The Ghastly looks great. The Gengar, the Morty's Conviction, like, I think it's a pretty decent set. But, cool to hate on it, right? It's cool to hate on every Scarlet Violet set. It's cool to hate on, Masquerade. Like, I don't know. I haven't looked into it deep enough. Haven't looked at the whole cards list. Is it even out yet? I don't know. But it's too early to say those things. Like, look, I'm an optimistic person. I'm always going to look for the optimism over the negative. When there's things that are negative, I call them out and I'm honest about them. But, man, for sets that are literally brand new or not even out yet to already be hating on it, it's just too early, man. Like, save the hate. Save the hate. Heard your talk on Mega from XY with Eli. Pick up Mega Charizard from Generations. Near Mint. Mega Gengar Secret from Phantom Forces. Nice. Looks like slim pickings on TCG Player. Yep. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Agree with Eli. Megas are going to be a thing as the new Pokemon game and new sets probably get released. If they get released with Megas, I think it's definitely going to be a play for sure. Yeah, Paradox Rift. Corey, we're not talking about it because it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know why it's out of stock. Maybe it's a glitch. Maybe it really, I don't know. Maybe they sent all their stock out to distributors. I don't know why it's out of stock. The boxes are still in the 80s and 90s. I mean, don't FOMO into Paradox Rift, guys. It's not going to be Astral Radiance. Brad, screw the positivity mumbo jumbo. Expose Dan. I'm not sure there's much to expose. It's the newest sets. You'll see those cards in English soon enough. Kind of boring set, but I'm not negative on the set. Bro, I'm big on Wild Force, all those. I differ on every set. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, again, haven't even looked at it. Maybe I won't like it either once I look at it. Yeah, I haven't looked yet. So maybe it is a weak set, Not gonna lie, and then I hear your name brought up all the time in other videos and streams, usually in negative ways. I don't understand it. Sorry for the pressure that kid. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of where we're at, man. Like, people joke about me like when I made the whole cabal thing, right? But the more and more you look around, you can see it. You'll see it before your eyes. Like, it's just a name. It's a name I made up. Like, I didn't even make it up, but you can call it a clique. You can call it like a group, whatever it may be. But you can definitely see like the group thing, right? There's definitely certain people in this hobby. They all, are usually on each other's channels. They're the same people and everyone in the same people's chats every single time. They all, vend together or hang out at Collecticons together. They're in the same Discords, and they all pretty much share the same opinions on things. And so I labeled it the cabal. You can call it clique, whatever you want to call it. And one of those opinions they all share is that NN bad, right? Kind of like Donald Trump, bad guy, like Nostalgianomics, bad guy. And what have I done that's so bad, right? I've showed data that disproves other people's opinions or things they've talked about in their videos. I've debated other people's opinions using data and facts. And, I've called people out before for misrepresenting data in the hobby. Other than that, what have I done? I mean, you guys know me. Have I been like vulgar? Have I went and cussed people out? Have I went and like tried to tear down them? Have I done anything like you see on like a rattle or an opossum bud video that they do to people? Have I done anything like that? I mean, have I talked about other creators? Sure, right? People want to point to like the Danny Phantom video. I think I said multiple times in that video, Danny's a good guy, or nothing negative about Danny as a person. I said that Danny misuses MSRP to pretend that it has any sort of bearing in the price of boxes, like acting like because things aren't over MSRP, they somehow haven't moved, right? It's a terrible statistic. Like something can go from $80 to $160. You could be 100% up on your money. And then he can make a video showing that, well, it's at 160. It hasn't even broken MSRP in 2 years. Like, dude, come on. The MSRP numbers are just fictitious numbers Pokemon applies to them. Retail numbers, what things are selling for at the open market, on the open market at release or the months after release, that's the real market price, not MSRP. But yeah, I made a video calling that out because I thought it needed to be made. Big deal. I got a ton of hate for that. Like I've had debates with other creators in the past where we had different views. I got hate for that. And all this time, I've never tried to attack people or hurt their feelings. I've just tried to get the whole truth, nothing but the truth out, and debate using facts and data statistics. And a lot of people just didn't like that, didn't like maybe the way I did it, how I'm more like brash, how I'm more like in your face, to the point, not like, timid or standoffish. I just want to, hash it out. And because of that, I've gained this image in the hobby of just kind of like being the pariah. That whole like cabal group, they're all against me. And so it promotes like multiple different creators all making negative content and promoting negative things about me in Discords and Reddits or, Instagram, wherever it may be, in person at live events. And that's just where we're at. I don't want to say it didn't get to me. It definitely got to me in the beginning. It doesn't now because I've kind of seen everyone's true colors. In the beginning, though, right, when I first started YouTube, I definitely kind of wanted to be like part of the gang. I wanted to kind of get in the groups and be on the live streams and chop it up and have the convos. But as people showed their true colors, as I really kind of saw what this hobby was and the manipulation like people tried to do, and like the kind of our way or the highway, if you think differently, then you're stupid or you're irrational. Like I wanted to distance myself. Like I don't want to be part of that. It's like a lot of people say, oh, you're just upset because you're not part of the group. Like, no, like in the beginning, I could say that. Like, yeah, I definitely wanted to be included in the beginning. Now, I'm very happy with who I talk with, my friends in the hobby, the relationships that I've built, kind of the partnerships that I've like aligned, the people I've aligned myself with. I feel I've aligned myself with the right people, and I don't want to be aligned with that group. And that's just where we stand. And there's people in this chat that are friends with people in that group, that are in that group, whatever it may be. And that's fine, right? I'm not mad at you. We're cool. Like I'm cool with anyone. But no, I don't. It's just how things ended up. People in this hobby that were very, they've been in the hobby a long time. They have deep-rooted relationships and deep-rooted thoughts. And, the E4 days and all those things, they had very long-standing beliefs and accepted rhetoric that was always accepted. And when someone comes out and challenges that, that person's always going to take heat. And I was, the first one to do that's always going to, be the first one to take heat. And I made mistakes. I've definitely made mistakes in the way I went about things. But I don't regret anything I've done in this hobby. I think a lot of people are better off because of a lot of videos I've made, and it showed the other side of things. It helped me veer away from making mistakes and made a lot of good decisions. And I'm happy with how everything turned out. I'm happy with where everything is in the hobby right now. And no harm, no foul. Doesn't Dan do mystery slabs to get rid of his failed grades? He does. He does mysteries. Again, no? There's nothing wrong with mystery products. I don't get it. Really? Normally I hear about Alex, it's always positive. Really? Dude, hey, FOMO. Message me those channels. I wanna subscribe and I wanna follow those channels. I want to be friends with that guy. ESP, I'm not hating. What do you mean, dude? No, I mean I already corrected it and said, yeah, dude, I'm not trying to hate on you. Sorry if it came off that way, brother. You and PK are my favorite channels. Entering how much you both agree on, but drama is just silly. Yeah, he's another one, man. It's just here. You guys know how it is. Take Pokemon out of it, right? Take PK out of it. Get out of this hobby, right? It's just like human nature, right? It's like you're in a group of friends, right? You've been a group of friends for a long time, okay? And then a new guy wants to be in the group, right? And so you kind of like entertain it, one person kind of starts talking to you, so then more people will, you kind of you get invited on some, to do some things with those people, and but you start disagreeing with a few people in the group, and you have some pretty heated arguments. Well, then the group says, hey, listen, we've been friends for all this time. Like, no, you're causing issues. Get out. Yeah, let's all hate on this guy because he's causing, and that's kind of what it's like, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I don't hold it against anyone. It's just how it ended up, and it's the way it is. No hate on anybody. I'm not here to hate on anyone. Like I said, I've built relationships with people in this hobby that I've grown close to, that I talk to quite a bit. That I'm much more happy and comfortable with being aligned with and being friends with than a lot of people in those groups anyway. So it worked out for the better for everyone. They didn't want someone like me in the group. I ended up not wanting to be in groups like that where people, things are negative and whatever. And so everything worked out for the better. And so it's good. It's all good. Like that. I mean, you can see my content's never geared toward, I haven't made content negative or calling people out in ages now. I have no plan to. Let everyone just do their thing, You're not orange man bad, you're modern man bad. That's how it feels sometimes, man. That's how it feels. It's almost like my name is almost synonymous with modern investing. It's weird, right? It's like, people will bring up modern investing and like, well, yeah, like nostalgianomics. It's like, why me? Like, there's tons of modern channels. It's not me, right? It's like, but somehow my name gets brought up when modern, like interchangeable. It's weird. It's weird. Nothing's wrong with debates. Yeah, I love them too. I'm the same way. I socialize with everybody and say, yeah, dude, exactly. Perfect. Stay that way, Pokey Kid. Stay in your own lane. Socialize with everyone. Don't take sides. Don't hop on bandwagons just because one person makes a video or says something bad about someone or exposes someone. Stay in your own lane. That's the other thing. It's like that's the other reason I'm not like worried about anything. Is like I have nothing to expose, right? I'm an open book. You're not going to find any dirt on me, right? You're not going to have a rattle video exposing Alex from Nostalgianomics, right? It's like, what are you going to expose me for? Like, what have I done? I talked positive on modern investing. I tried to disprove some of the myths about Pokemon investing that used to be accepted. I had some people on my channel for lives, or I associate with people that other people think are, do nefarious things or other people don't like. Like, okay, I have different views. Like, a big deal. Like, move on. Get over it, right? Skyline, I'm 9 months of the hobby. I've enjoyed your takes and views ever since. The Pokerevs are such fun. Yeah, but their stuff has made me exhausted. It feels often. Here's the thing with Pokerev, guys. Pokerev's as legit as it comes. Like, been in the hobby way longer than me, way larger collection. Here's the great part about Pokerev. Him, Cool Trainer Ryan, right? Like Rudy from Alpha Investments, the biggest guys in the hobby. You know what they did before they were big influencers? You want to know? They invested in sealed product. Pokerev has said in a live stream interview, word for word, 99% of what I own is in sealed product. Cool Trainer Ryan has admitted he invested almost entirely in sealed product. Now that he's a big fancy YouTuber, he likes to crap on Pokemon investors, even though that's what he did to build his wealth in this hobby. Pokerev the same way. He doesn't really crap on people for it. But, Rudy, same way. Everyone, all the big guys invested in sealed. They know. Everyone knows. But Pokerev's doing the right thing. He's he's built an entertainment career, right? He's an entertainer. And so it's not that he doesn't know his crap. It's not that he doesn't know everything there is to know about this hobby and investing wise and collecting wise. And I mean, he's as legit as they come, but I mean, look, I mean, I can't imagine what he makes per video. I can't imagine the brand deals and things he has going. Like, he's doing the right thing for himself, right? He's using his YouTube platform, and it betters the hobby. It's great for new collectors. It's great for people he's a great face of the hobby. He's a great guy. Like, dude, you're not going to hear me say one negative thing about PokeRev ever. Cool Trainer Ryan, I've never even said anything negative about Cool Trainer Ryan until he made that weird little short video, like calling me an idiot or something, or saying I suck or something. And I don't even hold that against him. It's like, it's whatever, man. Like, I don't agree with some of the things he does. Obviously, he doesn't agree with my content, but I mean, I still chop it up with the guy. I'd still have him on for live if he ever wanted to. I mean, one thing you can say about Cool Trainer Ryan is he's real. I mean, he'll say what he's feeling. He'll just blurt out exactly what he's feeling, and that's what I like, right? I love people that don't hold back, that don't pussyfoot around, that don't like try to be nice. Like, just say it. Just say what the hell you're thinking. Let's talk about it face to face. If we don't like each other, great. Move on, right? But don't like talk behind people's backs and like all that BS, right? So that's one thing I do like about him, even though he obviously doesn't like me too much. But yeah, is what it is. Yeah, the PK, I like his content, don't agree with his bias, but I only YouTube. Don't know what happens in other social platforms. I don't know either. I haven't kept up with any of those guys in a long time, so I don't know. Wish them all the best. Really appreciate your content, Alex, or Nostalgianomics. What's your next break? Want some Forbidden Light? I missed out. I do have more Forbidden Light. I'm actually going to be discounting it. It didn't go over too well. So I'm going to discount Forbidden Light all the way down to market price, exactly what they're selling for on like TCG Player or eBay. And so no markup. You can buy Forbidden Light packs tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time. I guess they're like maybe $14, $15. You can either do rip or ship too on those. If you want to like order an artwork set, I'll ship them to you sealed. If you want to rip them, I'll rip them. But yeah, so Forbidden Light, and we'll have all the normal stuff. All Scarlet Violet, a lot of Sword and Shield. I got a ton of product for tomorrow night's stream. So that'll be a good time. So I hope to see you there then. I'll if anyone's wondering, it's not up yet, I'll have the packs up tomorrow morning, or maybe even later today. I'll have them up and live. So just keep an eye out for nostalgianomics.com. The packs will be up. Anyone buying NVIDIA? Did it drop again today? I don't, but man, it's so hard to buy in at these prices, man. NVIDIA is crazy. Catch 'em all video was hilarious. I mean, it was all right. It was all right, right? I mean, maybe if you would have added in some more personality to it, like more hyped up, right? More energetic. But it was still like Dan's normal monotone, like, you know, if he would have really got into it, maybe I could have got more behind it. But it was just like, it was all right. It was all right. We got the point across, which is all that mattered. Bro, all blue TCG started his channel being influenced by your content. Remember the small things. Really? That's awesome. Love to hear that. All blue. All right. Cool Trainer Ryan apologized about the video? Oh, I missed that. I didn't know that. That's funny. I don't care, man. Like, you know, the weird part is, if you guys remember, Pokemon Gym Hero. I had him on the channel before. He's been in the hobby a long time. He's actually close friends with Cool Trainer Ryan. They were friends in the hobby from like before the boom type thing. Like they used to open packs together and live stream and like FaceTime each other. And they're like good friends, right? And so me and Pokemon Gym Hero became good friends. Like we talk on the phone sometimes, and I reached out to him a couple times, like, hey man, like, and this was when I was smaller. I'm like, hey dude, see if Ryan will come on the channel sometime. Like you and him can both come on. We can chop it up. And he's like, yeah, I'll ask him. And he said he asked him, and he was just like, no, I'll check him out maybe. But like never wanted to. And then like that video came out, and I'm just like, I reached out to Gym Hero. I'm like, dude, what's up with that? Like, really? He's like, you know, he just kind of stayed out of it. Like, I don't know, man. Like, and so it was just so weird. Like I like Ryan. Like I still do. I'm not mad at him. You don't like me, so there's that. But it is what it is. So it's all good. $151 good investment post the reprint. Does it have Eevee Heroes potential? Yeah, I think it'll be a good investment post reprint, especially if it gets down to under $100. Eevee Heroes, I don't know. I don't know about Eevee Heroes. Eevee Heroes potential. I mean, 151 could catch fire. It is pretty iconic. Master Balls thing. Time will tell. Time will tell. Guys, 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think it's time to call it. Appreciate all you guys who stuck with me this afternoon. Wish everyone the best in the hobby. Keep grinding, keep killing it. Congrats on everyone making gains right now in their sealed investing and their cards. Keep being careful if you are moving into anything in these spikes, especially with singles and graded slab. You don't know where the top's going to be, but I expect when it hits the top to be some sort of replacement. Usually you see that on singles after major spikes. I think sealed is going to be a little safer into these spikes. You know, you can always, with other plays, there's not always the main play. There's Scarlet and Violet era plays that, maybe people are missing right now or just like putting off. There's the XY mega play where you can go try to pick up the megas in hopes that the game and the maybe Pokemon will start printing megas again and bring the popularity back to those. There's other there's Lorcana's pumping. There's all kinds of stuff. One Piece. There's all kinds of stuff out there. So keep grinding, keep having a good time, keep enjoying yourselves, keep making that money. That's all I pretty much got. Brad, I'm going to KC because it's close. Chicago and New Jersey confirmed is what I'm going to this year. So I'll see you at some of those, I'm sure. When did you get back into TCG? When did you get back into TCG and what got you in? I got back in 2015 and I can't even put my finger on it. I had sold my lawn care and landscaping company and I was just like, I don't know. I took some time off after that. I was bored. I started, I don't know what got me looking at it, but I was like, oh yeah, I want to collect my old childhood stuff. And it wasn't just like Pokemon. I bought like a Sega Genesis and a Nintendo NES and like a N64 and stuff. And then I bought like base set Jungle and Fossil complete sets. And from there, it just kind of snowballed. I went to a local card shop and like I saw they had the old packs, but like I bought some base set Jungle Fossil packs and it just went from there. And then like in 2016 or so, a friend of mine knew I was doing this and then he wanted to start, collecting again. And so I helped him start collecting. We weren't investing. I was spending money. I was just having fun, right? And he started to buy things and he's like, hey, how much did you pay for those base set packs? I'm like, I don't know, like $30. He's like, nah, man, they're $50. I'm like, nah, dude, you don't know how to search eBay. Here, I'll get on and show you. So I get on, I start searching. I'm like, wow, they're $50. I look at sold listings. And I'm like, they're all $50. And then we had a conversation and that's where it all clicked. That's where the investing started in like 2016 for me. It all clicked. And I was like, wait, I wanted to get back into my childhood. You wanted to get back into your childhood. Things I paid $25 for just 6 months, a year ago are now selling for $50. More people are going to want to do this, man. We need to start stocking up on this stuff. This stuff is going to continue to rise over time. And that's where it kind of all started. Appreciate it, Mikey. Thanks for being here. Have a good evening. I think Ryan apologized. Podcast with Radar. He dislikes investment videos, but he thinks the video specifically against you wasn't right. But it's whatever. It's water under a bridge. I don't care. It's no big deal. I'm sure Ryan's a good guy. That's all we got today, though, guys. Thanks for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Be back here in a new video soon. I am out.